you made us be quiet for that.
He was doing the Muppet thing, and he wanted to sound like Kermit.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is the secret word going to drop down at some point?
Thank you, the one guy who actually appreciates it.
I was doing it.
Oh, were you? Okay.
That's only because I live with you. That's the worst Kermit I've ever heard.
It's true. It's true. But the thing is,
this is Kermit the Frog.
he does kind of squeak that one out,
does,
though,
yeah.
to be fair. Anyway, but this is actually LEOG episode 6.
You mean issue 6?
Issue 6.
Issue 6.
Volume 2, issue 6.
Damn.
I am your host, Cyrus. With me is my co-host,
Leon.
Indeed. We've got the regular crew here. Jason.
Howdy.
Bo.
Yes, I am.
Grant.
Oh.
And our
Greg.
Our musician, Greg.
What's up?
And then, guess what? We got a special treat for you folks.
Wait a minute. Now, you said we weren't going to have any guests this week.
I know. But you know what? We went to go see Fast and Furious, and I ran into one of our other beloved members.
Now, wait. Let the audience at home play along. Is this Grant, or is it the real thing?
Is it bigger than a bread box, or is it something that you can put bread into and toast?
Hey, it's the co-host.
You son of a bitch! Oh, you son of a bitch!
Will the real co-host...
It's on me! It's my mic! Hey! We're gonna be competing like this all night! Bada bing, bada boom!
Oh, my
the
God.
Real co-host,
What the
please,
hell?
roll up.
I got my
to the
phaser
chopper.
ready to shoot the wrong one. I don't know which one is the wrong one.
In case you're wondering,
Yeah, shoot them both. That's a good idea.
It's Sister Di Guapo!
They're both the wrong one,
He's
Leon.
not me! I'm him!
And yet-
He's me! Guido! Wait a minute! Now
yes,
I'm confused.
it is actually just as annoying in person as it is listening at
Hey!
I think slightly more.
home. You're probably right.
No, but co-host is here.
Hello, people.
Granting us access to his infinite wisdom on the number of subjects in which you have deigned to query us upon.
Right
this
on.
week.
Thank you for bringing me back. I know the last episode was extremely
Wait.
controversial.
And here's
but,
Ruby Rocket.
How's it going, tits?
Yeah. Seriously, dude, why don't you just rape her at the beginning of the show and we can get it out of the way?
Hey, I don't do that. I don't rape. I call it love making.
You were in the middle of something about Green Lantern. Go ahead.
Yeah, tell me a story about Green
I
Lantern.
did not tell you
co-host.
guys when Abin Sir was crashing down in his ship.
So the other day, I was walking. I saw this really hot late. Wait a minute, were you saying something?
Is everybody
Hey,
done? Is everybody done?
Peace and love. Peace and love.
But we will give you a co-host a minute here because we do cut him off almost by instinct. So everyone just bite your lip for a minute, and we'll give our official introduction. Go ahead, co-host. Say what you got to say.
And we've got some.
Hey, get to the chopper!
All right.
Listen to Let's Do This every Tuesday. When is it on?
We don't listen to that shit. How should we know?
Hey,
I'll tell you this though. The one thing I did learn from Let's Do This is, man, we need more catchphrases.
oh my God, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I'll sell you all of mine, okay?
Yeah, what I
You
learned
can
from
have
Let's
it
Do
all.
This
right.
is that our show is only half as long as it needs to be. Because if I start listening to a Let's Do This on Tuesday, I'm not done until Thursday.
Oh, and we're also talking about shit.
You can say that again. Shit. Yes.
Hey,
Yes, the shit.
I
Green Lantern
personally
boy.
admire the talent to just bullshit for 4 hours straight.
I know.
I do.
And it's shocking because people actually listen.
I know.
Who the
I know.
hell are these
That's what-
morons?
That's what gets me. They're like, make it longer. Make it longer.
Yeah, and Corey's like, yeah, we should do that. I'm like, yeah, you have fun with that. Where's Grant's number?
Hey, to be fair, all Corey's girlfriends say the same thing to him, and he can't do it.
Oh, God.
Come on. I'm
Nice.
just saying that I wanted to make a sexual joke at Corey's.
I'm going to have to click that as save as so I can use it.
Yes. Take the joke. Take the joke, robot, and enjoy it.
Y'all, seriously though, he's right though. Those things are so long. I expect to see a Ken Burns montage.
Hey, by the end of those, I'm seeing montages, all right? I can't explain it.
I'm just picturing like a black field with a white get to the chopper, as a device to go from one era to the next.
Intermission.
I tell you what, though, with catchphrases, you do get plenty of amazing artwork. So
That's true, man.
that's-
I mean,
you guys get
man. I mean, first we had Jagar. Now we got the new guy, Travis Pickle. Oh my God!
Did you see the new one? He did the Indiana.
Yeah,
Jones?
the Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny because he called. He called me. He sent me a message saying like, "Hey, would you rather be Belloc or the fat guy?" I'm like, let me think.
Want to be the dapper dressing Belgian who actually gets the best of Indiana Jones once in a while, or the big fat traitor?
Well,
Let me pose that for a second.
well, I wish he would have called me. I mean, he made me the big fucking boulder. I guess. I was like, thought he'd make me at least that head that is Indiana switched out for a bag of sand.
Oh, that's true. That would have been better.
That guy is awesome. He's amazing.
He is. He's amazing.
And don't be shy. Send us your art.
Yeah, please.
But hey,
Yes,
Jagar.
just messaged me about artwork or art faces. Yeah. So because he wanted to make another art piece.
Really?
I don't know.
There you go.
We've posted our pictures. many times.
Yeah,
And I would like to
Or
point
you could
out-
just get in contact with our good friend Jaeger.
I would like
There
to
you
point
go.
out there has been no art representative of Double Werewolf yet, and
Werewolf,
I'm wondering
werewolf.
where it is.
Yeah, where's that?
Well, hey.
There are two
I will
werewolves.
fight you.
Hey,
Yeah.
I will say this: any artist out there that's doing artwork for Let's Do This, how about you save your art not for us, but for LEOG, and just put "Let's Do This" art on the LEOG pages? That would be awesome.
You know what? No, that would be.
That is
I'd
my
like
gift
that.
to you guys. There you
Wow,
go.
you're so
Grant.
generous.
Hey, if I pee in this thing, will it short circuit?
No, it actually uses urine for fuel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hence all the beer at the Let's Do This.
That's right.
I think they got me confused with you, Grant.
Oh.
Where's Padawan?
No. You fuck with your own flunky, buddy. Grant's our flunky. Leave him alone.
Grant. Hey, you shut the fuck up.
I'll fight you. That's right. Fight, both of you. Fight to the death.
But I do encourage new catchphrases, guys. Anyone who has anything they want to throw out there, we encourage you. I'm voting myself for "Your Vagina is Haunted," but that's just
Vampire. No.
No.
Did I do that?
The mummy. The mummy.
If you guys,
I did it on the last one. I'll do it again. No more sports.
well, if you guys want to talk to me after the show, I'll sell you some. For a price.
He's got a background.
Our staff writer.
Yeah, here's a catchphrase from you. Catchphrases. It's like heroin for Let's Do This.
It's all "Let's Do This" is.
All right, but we're not here to do a.
Yeah,
I assume we didn't come
Get to
together
the
for
chopper.
a "Let's Do This" commercial.
No, we didn't. I do actually really enjoy "Let's Do This."
And
though.
here-
I do
In
too.
all honesty, I do actually listen to it, and it is.
Thank you. I appreciate that because God knows I listen like gangbusters to you guys.
Is it
Every Saturday morning? You guys are like my new Saturday morning cartoons. Every Saturday morning when I turn myself on, which isn't hard to do.
Please, no more details.
I go and I dig out those Leons. I swear to God, I enjoy the shit out of you guys.
Okay,
all right?
you
man.
So
can.
there
Thank
you go.
you.
I'm
Thank
done
you.
stroking you. All
I'm
right.
blushing.
Where's my Grant? All right, tell him some jokes. There you go.
All right, here comes the chopper to chop off your head and to bring us into this week's LEOG theme.
Yeah. What's our theme this week?
Well,
Master Cyrus.
as I posted in the
Our theme is "Let's Do This."
Our theme is "Let's Do This."
Shut up, Jason.
Why we're better? No. It's
LEOG issue 6. We win.
no. As y'all have gone to the League Lounge, and if you haven't joined the League Lounge yet on Spill.com, why haven't you?
Maybe you.
915 counting, bitches.
I know
Maybe you
we're
could be the
so
lucky
close to
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
but we're
close to
coming up
1,000.
close, guys. You better beware.
Yeah, you only got like 300 or so to go, right?
Yeah, like 300. That's close to 500, right?
Anyway, we post regularly the questions for upcoming ones, and this one was anything goes, and I mean it. The only rule there was that you couldn't ask double questions, as has always been the rule, and some of you who know better did it anyway.
Some of you wrote a goddamn novel. Jesus, calm the
Filibustering.
fuck down.
The only questions that got in for you guys were the first ones you asked, if you asked multiple ones. And what I did is I took all these questions and I numbered them, and I got a little randomizer here. So I didn't even, I'm not picking out anything. I'm not
Is that
being-
randomizer a 20-sided die?
It's It's a 100-sided die, is what it is.
No,
There's
it's me going.
It's exactly 100 questions, and I'm not being like I said. I didn't rule anything out because I didn't like it. There's ones in here I was like, oh fuck, I hope that doesn't come up.
Hey, maybe they're using magic die.
Are there
right?
are there prizes?
No, there are no
Oh,
prizes.
fuck this podcast.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
You already got your prize. We let you live. Okay, so we're gonna
That's
go.
funny. I recall us as not only living but winning.
I remember us thriving over the plebeians that
Yes.
dared to challenge us.
Fine,
Seemed
there
that-
will be more challenges like that. They're just not this week.
Hey, if that ever happens again, do you guys mind if I hang out?
Oh, we
'Cause,
want you to.
I like trivia.
Yeah, what are those great prizes you guys
yeah,
won?
my
Some
partner.
some mini mates or something?
I call not on the robots team.
I'll take the robot because we got our asses kicked last time.
There you go. All right, so may I
not that
please
smart.
have the randomizing music?
No whammies, no whammies.
Our first question comes from Alex, who asks, "What are your opinions of Ghost World writer Daniel Clowes?"
Fuck them.
I'm a big fan. I like his work.
Rewire that thing.
Like his work quite a bit, especially his artwork. He has a way of drawing Americana in a way that's slightly skewed and off. As a matter of fact, when I watched the movie,
Does that mean ugly?
Well, yeah. Well, actually,
to
it
an
kind of
extent.
does. It's like very mundane, almost sort of on the ugly side. When I watched the movie Napoleon Dynamite, I don't really care for that movie, but the one thing I like about it is that
Yeah,
it has a
yeah.
very Daniel Clowes feel to
You
it.
are
right,
right.
you're right.
He does kind of that like he loves small towns. He loves like that kind of America that stopped in the 50s and never
Yeah.
went anywhere. There's a one of his first comic book series was Lloyd Llewellyn, which was its own series and then later appeared in 8-Ball comics. And they're just awesome, and most of them kind of take place in the pseudo 50s like sci-fi world.
You know, it's funny because I never liked Lloyd Llewellyn, but I love everything he's done since then.
I love Lloyd Llewellyn, although I admit, like, for pure quality, his later stuff is far superior. But I still have a real soft spot for that, right? Just because it's so like, swinging 50s bachelor pad type of stuff, and that's Jason, you love him. I'll lend you my Lloyd Llewellyn.
You
collection.
have my
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. I'll lend you my Lloyd Llewellyn.
I appreciate his depiction of inbred America.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does.
Oh yeah, and if you want like the behind the scenes on the comic book art world, read. He's got a graphic novel called Pussy.
Oh yes,
Pussey.
that's a perfect one.
Oh, and it skewers fanboys, it skewers comic book artists. It's fucking incredible.
I have to say, my favorite. I'm all for Johnny Blaze and the hell with Dan Ketch.
What? Dude, seriously, somebody get him some Q-tips.
I'm gonna get you some Daniel Clowes before you leave.
Okay, I'm sorry, not Ghost Rider, Ghost World.
Ghost World.
You threw me off too. I was like, wait, I don't even get it.
I
What's
wasn't
going on?
listening.
Okay,
You had me at Johnny Blaze.
but you are correct.
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Can I get some randomizer noise?
You know what? That's gonna get annoying. Like 10
I know. I was
minutes
like,
ago.
is this something new that I missed last week?
Hey, we've got co-host on. Who cares?
Yeah.
Zeke
I'll make some noise.
Slider asks, "Okay, Leog, I'm going to do the one thing that'll cause you guys to hate me."
Awesome.
Recently, I
There's
posted
more
a-
than one, buddy.
Recently, I posted a blog that I brought to Leon's attention. It was about the anime version of an American product, which you have to admit is very rare. It was the Powerpuff Girls Z. Recently, I found out Disney has a Japanese sequel to the Lilo and Stitch TV series. Lilo and Stitch series called simply Stitch, where Stitch is dropped off in an equally strange Japanese Lilo-esque girl, which may be imported as well due to its high animation quality and non-anime look.
This is one question.
Yeah. So anyway, chapter 2. I'm not going to ask your opinion on the shows.
I sat up on the hill pondering Lilo and Stitch.
At the sound of co-host, please turn the page.
I'm not going to ask you your opinion on the shows, but you're more than welcome to express them, which we're not going to because I seriously doubt any of us have actually seen those. My question is, do you guys at LEOG foresee this being a trend where a successful American product has a bastard spin-off in an overseas market that ends up being imported back to America?
No.
Dude, half of like the manga market started out as takes on American products.
That's true. I mean, if you go back to Speed Racer was a cross between Elvis and James Bond. That was their inspiration.
I
for
mean,
that.
there have been manga before we had a Spider-Man movie over here, they had a Spider-Man live-action manga.
Which was
a Spider-Man manga that became a live-action television program. They've done Batman manga. I mean, Spider-Man.
I've
The
got
Spider-Man
one
one
for you.
was bug nuts insane, by the
No,
way.
I got one for you. The Rolling Stones.
What?
The Rolling Stones took
fuck are you
black
talking about?
R&B and did it in English and came back with it and wasn't as good.
Well, I'll hand
Hey,
you
you
this.
take
At
that
least it
back.
wasn't sports.
no,
pretty sure,
I like the Rolling Stones, but I mean, I'm just saying that's part of that. What he was saying.
I think
Yeah, that's
American
true.
Gladiators went over to them and they made Most Extreme Challenge, which came right back to us with all these lame
Ninja Warrior.
reality shows that we were just getting last summer when we had the writers. Strike.
I think he does. He brings up a good point as far as that, now that manga has as big, if not a bigger market in America as American comic books, are we going to start seeing some crossover? And yeah, absolutely. I think manga has definitely made some influences on American art, and I think the converse could be true. And manga could definitely
Manga made
use
a
it.
huge influence on Image Comics.
Yeah.
You look at all those.
Did someone actually get us to talk about manga?
I mean, he
it was gonna
found a way to
happen
do. He
eventually.
found a way to do it. This guy, he wrote me about this. Like everybody knows, I love the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
And okay, the weird thing is, the Powerpuff Girls is sort of like a satire on anime. So the idea that they would do an anime based on the Powerpuff Girls is, the tail wagging the dog.
Right.
It's
It's meta.
Oh, here we go.
But this reminds me of back when Bruce Willis was on Moonlighting. And they hired him for Die Hard. It was almost like a goof. Like, hey, it's that goofball from Moonlighting who's in an action movie. How funny.
What's
But then-
Moonlighting, Leon?
But then he became a real... he started to see himself as a real action hero.
And
I was
that's
like...
what he became after that.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, you guys. This was supposed to be a joke. What the fuck are you doing?
It's kind of like Kurosawa doing Yojimbo, but it was a Western with a samurai. But then they turned around and did Fistful of Dollars, which is a Western about a samurai movie about a Western.
Which wasn't
Well,
the only one.
and
That actually
Yojimbo-
is a pinball game of westerns and samurai films. Between
Yeah.
Well,
the
actually,
Japanese and us.
Yojimbo started out as a Dashiell Hammett detective story.
Oh, that's
called
right.
Red Harvest.
Red
It wasn't
Harvest,
a
that's
cowboy
right.
thing at all. So, yeah, I mean, we're throwing the tropes up and spinning.
Wow,
around.
I cannot believe that question that we were going to throw away turned into
Brought
all
up a
this.
Dashiell Hammett reference.
And I
There
was
you go,
going
baby.
to ask,
That's what I'm for.
is this a guy asking if we've seen Lilo and Stitch?
Seriously, I was ready to say,
Be a
all right, fuck this
man.
question.
I'm sure you have kids. I'm sure you have
yeah,
kids.
go in
I
heavy-
I just did a review calling Pinocchio the greatest animated film ever, so what do I have to say?
Well, and
Hey,
it's a
Pinocchio.
good argument for it, too.
Pinocchio.
I gotta hand it to you. Well, your article managed to skip funny almost entirely. It actually ends up being quite an education reading it. I was like, well, you know what? It's hard for me to argue with him after that. So okay, Pinocchio, greatest animated movie ever made.
Pretty damn good movie.
Oh, I don't know if it stacks up against Punisher Warzone.
Hey, what are you talking about? You want to fight?
Hey, man. I'm in the middle of writing a review for that. I actually like that movie.
Hey, what are you talking about? No.
It's a shitty movie, but I still like it a whole lot.
But
Really?
it's not
I-
an
I'll just sit
animated
down with you and
film.
watch it.
No, but I like that movie. I don't think you understand. Punisher,
no,
I think
no.
they can make a good Punisher movie.
How the hell
No,
did
they
we
can't make a
sideline
good
to the
Punisher movie. They-
Okay, they can't, but they can.
No. They
I call
cannot
for the
make
randomizer.
I call for the
You
random.
shut up about the Punisher. They'll never make a good movie. out of it.
Yeah, I think we should make
I could
Greg
do
the
a car.
official
Yeah. Okay.
randomizer sound guy. from-
I'm calling a moratorium on the do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah,
all right?
I told you I was going to get old by the second time.
Havoc asks, what is the best show on television to have a short run and not have a crazy fan following?
Ooh.
And he says, for instance, Firefly and Fuck You, Havoc. Because I'm not crazy.
Wait a minute. Firefly, though, had a crazy...
I take pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a
You know-
crazy fan base. Firefly, though.
The whole thing is that whole thing was blown so far out of proportion, and I'm sorry. I got a whole thing about that, but I'm not even going to go there because I just get pissed off about that whole brown.
I gotta
coat
say,
debate.
and this is just because it's a recent memory, but Life on Mars. I was really liking that
got
show. They were
canceled?
doing some really cool stuff on it.
it's canceled.
They've only given it 17 episodes, and they're like, nah, not working enough. And,
Bo,
and-
let's be honest. You like that show because it's named after a David Bowie song.
Well, yeah, but I also like it because I mean,
Ground.
I love 70s New York because, and for one thing, one reason I'm a fan of that era and that location is because when I first started reading comic books, they were Marvel comics in the 70s, and they all took place in New York. And so
Ground.
that kind of gritty atmosphere was, I was really down for it. And being able to go back in a time machine and see that, it was really cool. Not only that, dude, it was fucking Harvey Keitel. It was
Michael Imperioli.
Michael Imperioli from the
Sopranos.
From the Sopranos. Gretchen Mol. I mean, badass fucking
Man,
cast.
I really wanted to watch it. I guess I'm one of those guys that never jumped on the bandwagon and watched it from the beginning, and so I could catch up.
It's your fault.
Yeah, I'm the reason.
Well, no, I do think one of the reasons is that because it's so easy to go and watch stuff online that people are like, I can let this go for a while and then boom, it's gone.
I'm sorry, Bo. I'm one of those guys too. I was telling myself I'm gonna wait on DVD to really enjoy the hell out of all these badass actors.
I'll tell you why
really
I
do a
didn't
great
watch
job
it,
with
because I watched the English one, and the ending was fucking awful. It was like, what the fuck was that bullshit? I mean, I don't know anyone who liked the ending of the English one. They were like, it was the ultimate cop out. I mean, Battlestar Galactica was like the best ending of all time compared to Life on Mars, and the way they were like,
And the ending of Battlestar Galactica sucked.
It was
right?
all
The
right.
second half of it
was
did, anyway.
bittersweet. I'd say.
But we're not talking about BS3.
No, but wait.
But the point is that
LEOG
I was
fans.
like, I didn't want to invest in the American one because I was like, well, if they're just going to pull the same bullshit, I don't even
But
want to fucking
there's
invest
something
my time
Bo
in it.
said though that I totally follow him with. It's like that whole '70s New York thing, like Serpico and
French
Shaft,
Connection.
Yeah.
French Connection. Something that was just where
I
the
think 'cause,
headlines
Manhattan and New York in the 70s was just
was
beat,
like
dude.
and that's when they had the famous headline New York government to New York dropped dead.
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of the major city on the brink of apocalypse because they were really. I mean, that's when the blackout, the Son of Sam.
Yeah, I
was
wasn't a
78,
big fan
all that
of
stuff.
the movie Son of Sam, but man, the
but
sets
just
and
the
all that
real,
shit,
but the
awesome.
real story behind that
I
was
was
just
more a
great.
fan of Son of Sam. I mean, as killers go, he was pretty
I'm
good.
just glad they finally sent Snake Plissken in to take care of shit.
Let's say of all the movies that took place in the the defining films of the 70s of Martin Scorsese that were all about these streets.
Which, going back to that, as we mentioned, going back to a couple of issues ago, that is what a Daredevil movie should be.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. You have to have a pre-Giuliani Daredevil. After that, it's just no point.
Right.
I mean, he's like but, after that, he's busting
He's
yuppies for like not picking up their dog poop.
This is Clinton. It's my neighborhood. It's filled with it's filled with people that make $6 figures.
There's a shoplifter
There's
at the
no
Virgin
heroin,
Records.
That's why I always wondered, like,
nobody's even stolen a purse in 5 years.
You've got Clinton on not the real Clinton on 125th Street in Harlem. That wouldn't have happened. Like Fred Williamson would have blown his ass away in some blaxploitation movie. The honky, the man in Harlem. Are you kidding me?
That's that's the only way the Punisher would work. To be honest, because he's in New York, hanging out on rooftops all the time with his machine gun and like 20 fucking guns strapped to him. Like, what the hell? What kind of crazy, bizarre world is this?
Daredevil swinging around in Disney's Hex Kitchen.
Well, I mean, that's why the Punisher moved to New Jersey after a while.
Yeah. So short-lived TV series.
Yes, no, let's actually go around. And I want to throw out there Wonder Falls.
I was
Brian
about to
Fuller's
say
series.
Wonder Falls. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful series.
Pushing
It's the same guy who did Pushing Daisies and
Okay, but these are all series you guys can find on DVD, right?
Arrested
Yeah.
Development.
I mean, even though they're canceled, you can find them on DVD.
yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of series that I loved that cannot be found on DVD.
Hurry
Is
up!
this your way of calling
This better
dibs
not
on
be
them in
that
case they
Tay
do
Diggs
come out on
Daybreak.
DVD?
No, there's no way they're going to come out on DVD.
All right.
Wait,
No,
guys,
wait.
Leon is trying to talk about how old he is.
Is it 227?
No.
Is it Thunderbirds Part 2?
See, I figure.
Wait, is it that solo series they made with Damon from Sanford Son?
Baby, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, that is one of them. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
And Bo calls it Brother from Another Mother.
It was that spin-off to Three's Company, isn't it?
The Ropers?
Yeah, exactly.
What is
Norman Fell, what happened to
They
you?
would. They almost had a Roper spinoff.
They
No, they
did
did have a Roper
spin-off.
spin-off.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
It was the Ropers.
No, yeah, okay.
I gotta see
okay,
that
co-host.
shit.
Here's the funny thing about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Three's Company came from a British show.
Side note: if like a devil in the DC or Marvel verse ever comes and has like an AKA Norman Fell, perfect name for a demon.
Okay, it's true.
Indeed.
Okay, Three's Company was taken from a British show, just like All in the Family and Sanford and Son.
really? Okay.
Yes, but also The Ropers was, and in Britain, The Ropers show was a lot more popular and successful than the Three's Company show.
I did
Really?
not know that.
Yeah, that was I was in Houston when they were showing them both, and like Man About the House was the show that Three's Company was taken from, but the show about their landlords, that the Ropers was taken from, was way funnier.
No, there was
It had
also,
more episodes.
There was also a post Three's Company show, though. There was another show
Yeah,
after that.
Two's a
where
Crowd.
After Jack took the helicopter back and it
Yeah.
blew up on the way back to the States, right? And then everybody got to go home.
I
from
would just
Korea.
like to say
And then the island disappeared.
my favorite line in television history comes from a Britcom, Keeping Up Appearances. where
Love that show.
Hyacinth's cousin Onslow says, "And I'm completely surrounded by no beer." Beautiful.
Now, okay, like the guy who plays Hyacinth's husband in that show
Yes.
was the guy from Excalibur who
Exactly,
goes,
he was
"Let the boy try."
Sir Hector.
That's right.
You think anyone's on Google right now, like searching this shit?
Seriously,
They
all
are.
our 12-year-old audience.
I think more than likely they've just like turned the podcast off at this
Okay,
point.
let me
my
just-
answer. Okay, my two shows is one like it's a show that so many people hate, and I love this show. Mind of the Married Man. I thought that show was hilarious. I used to really get into it. There's so many episodes, so many
Was that
elements
on
to it.
HBO?
It was on HBO.
Okay.
And another show that I haven't talked about much in a while, which was Christian Slater, My Own Worst Enemy. I fucking love that show, and it ended on such a cliffhanger.
I saw the first episode. It was
Oh
awesome.
man, you should have watched the whole thing. It had such a great premise, and they just fucking killed it. I was like, God damn it! How do you have a good show like this and just pull the plug out on it?
You also had a big boner for Daybreak. Remember that one?
I did like Daybreak.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a big boner for it, but I did like
Real
it.
quick. Going back to Mr. Roper, real quick before we get off.
Okay.
The topic. Okay. That guy, Mr. Roper, was the first guy who ever taught me how to appreciate your own jokes. Whenever nobody.
Oh, I
else
know.
thinks they're
I know,
funny.
that's true.
The best
That's
part
true.
of Three's Company
And
was
oh,
when
how well it has behooved you.
Hey man, that's
When
right. He
Mr.
would tell
Roper
he would tell a
ever
bad
made-
joke,
Yeah.
but the camera would zoom in on him,
Yeah,
and he'd look at it and
he'd look
smile.
right at he'd break that wall, and he'd just look at the camera and smile right in the camera, dude.
And it
fucking
made you
love that guy. I laughed so hard.
Dude, you could
That guy's
totally
my hero.
You could totally redub that with like a silent farting sound in the background. And zoom in on him.
had
'Cause He always looked like
had
that.
look like he just cut one huge one. Yeah,
Well,
all the
I mean,
time.
he was at a
Awesome.
point where he's like, "Fuck, I hate my wife, I hate my life, but fuck it, I'm gonna laugh at my own jokes if nothing else."
And not only that, I live next to a gay guy, and he would like just get the biggest smile. Like he just cracked the greatest joke, but everyone else is too stupid to understand.
Right.
Jason, did you have one?
Parker Lewis can't lose.
I like this
fuck
show.
yeah.
Corin Nemec,
Wait a second.
even though you were a crazy Scientologist, we still love you.
Wait a second.
I have
Didn't
one,
Parker?
too.
No. Parker Lewis had at least 2 seasons, and unlike
No.
the actual Ferris Bueller
Wait,
TV
wait.
show,
With Charlie Schlatter?
yes,
wasn't very
co-host,
good.
Oh my
yes.
God! You know what is? You know what is so?
Wait, get on a mic. Get on a mic. Leon, get on a
You
mic.
bring up Charlie Schlatter on Superman the Animated Series. Charlie Schlatter did the voice of the Flash.
Badass.
Damn.
Okay, cool.
Wait,
You know,
I go ahead.
You know what is so depressing? Kubiak, the big high school
Oh,
bully on
yeah.
that. Has anybody been watching the wind down of ER?
He
No.
shows up
He's-
all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
his name is Abraham Ben Ruby, and he plays like
He's been on ER since the
yeah,
beginning.
he's been on ER since the beginning, and now he's got like a white fucking like Jewish patriarch beard. I mean,
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
I know.
wow.
It's just like, oh my God, Kubiak is. Oh, I'm so old.
Wait,
Coob, eat now.
I've got one. It's your move.
Oh yeah, with Jason.
Oh,
Jason
yeah,
Bateman.
no.
Oh, here
Which
comes
was-
Leon.
Fucking shit.
Which was
That's
the
my favorite
best-
goddamn show.
because-
Jason Bateman.
because Jason Bateman-
No.
Yeah, you're
Jason-
gonna laugh.
Jason
You're
Bateman.
gonna laugh.
I do understand.
Favorite show in the
I do
world.
understand because Jason Bateman was the most sadistic bastard of a kid, and he was the funniest
it had the
guy.
guy who was married to Marcy
Yeah,
on
it-
Married with
yeah,
Children.
it was
Yes.
so
Yeah, but
funny.
But then they changed the background cast and
Yes.
changed the name of the show,
Yeah.
and it wasn't good anymore.
I know
after that.
because that's when he had that
It
fake
was the
band.
exact
No,
same
that
show.
was the Harpers.
No.
No.
They
That was
changed.
Good Morning
No,
Minnesota.
you're talking about Valerie.
Because yeah, you're
thinking of Valerie.
Valerie.
No, because this your move ended like with the greatest episode where they
Ever.
took this whole band,
Fake band.
for the high school
Oh,
band.
the shit was
and they didn't know
hilarious.
how they were going to pull it off, and they
Right.
just got like a bunch of skeletons.
Yes,
from,
yes.
From the life drawing room, from
Yeah.
the science room, and dressed them up with like a fog machine, a lot of lights.
Yes,
and
it
everybody in
was
high school
awesome.
bought it as the prom band.
Yes,
it was like the
it
greatest
was-
scam ever.
It was-
But that was the last episode.
Yes,
and
yes,
never
it
came
was.
back
No,
on
it
again.
was awesome. It was a one season.
It was a
just
killer.
brilliant. Great cast.
I love that Jason
Now,
Bateman.
Wasn't
was
Okay,
it
wait,
a
wait.
spin-off of Silver Spoon?
Yes, it was because Jason Bateman was the that is-
Leon. Leon, get your ass back here real quick because the bass player has the fucking mic.
What a boring question no one cared about. Hey, if I can name just one more. I don't know if any of you guys also watch this, but Lucky Louie on HBO.
Yeah, I love Lucky Louie. I love Lucky Louie. Yes.
Okay. Man,
Lucky Louie.
Louis C.K. He's gonna actually, I think, be in the next Ricky Gervais movie.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Genius.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just one thing. If you are listening, it's not gonna work because never mind.
Okay, if you're one of those people who like Dane Cook, fuck you, stop listening. But if you do, half his jokes were taken from Louis C.K.
Right.
Who did it better.
And Louis C.K. wanted to do like a traditional, like a couple sitcom, except throw in his like raunchy jokes, and it was great. But the thing was, it was missing just a little bit of professional polish, and it was one of those shows where I'm like, man, if this show gets a second season, it's going to be phenomenal. And HBO didn't give it a second season.
I got a show. I got one. Freaks and Geeks. Yeah.
I can't believe we didn't think about that.
I did. I'm
I've
watching
never seen
it right
that show,
now.
but I hear about it.
I'm watching it right now, and
Apatow.
I chalked that into the whole. It's got a rabid fan base already.
Yeah, that's true. It does have that.
Yes.
gigantic-
So that's why I discounted it because it's got a
I'm
lot of.
still pissed off that it got canceled.
The series that Judd Apatow did after that, which used a lot of the same actors, Undeclared, does not have the same rabid fan base,
And yet it was still awesome.
and it is just as good and just as worthy as checking
I wouldn't
out.
say it's just as good.
You shut up, Grant.
Freaks and Geeks,
Fight.
I think, just had everything going for it. Whereas
Undeclared
was just a little bit more.
That's because you
slapstick.
were popular in college.
I just wish all those actors got another chance to do something
I
else.
know. And we never heard from them ever again.
But I got one more. Battlestar 1985, Battlestar Galactica 1985.
Wait, no,
That was
no,
the greatest show
no,
ever.
they
I would have
said-
said bring it back or do a remake.
Yeah,
They
I want to
said
see those
good
motorcycles.
shows.
I want to see the motorcycles fly in the air.
Where it turns out that microwaves, like microwave ovens, stop the Cylons.
No more Cylons. All
And
right,
for once,
randomizer.
And for once, I agree with Bo.
Next question.
All right, next question.
No more of that. Stop.
Enough.
Basta. Basta es basta.
iPriest says, you've talked about being an artist and showing your stuff at conventions and sending them in, but how about writing? How do you get into the comic writing business? Where do you start?
You have to-
I know
write
a great way. Write a
seriously?
successful best-selling novel.
or a successful film.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or ask a comic book writer.
You want to break into writing in comic books outside of doing what these two guys said, like writing something else that's successful. You got to suck some dicks.
Well, that
Actually, okay. A guy named
And I don't even mean that figuratively.
A guy named C.B. Cebulski, he's the talent scout for Marvel. He said, well, it's easy to review art, but if you want to be a writer, the best way to become a writer in comic books is to write a hit movie.
Yeah.
And he actually said that like a month ago on his Twitter.
Do the Kevin Smith thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean-
if you look at it,
Well,
they've got all these guys from Lost, and they got Kevin
It-
Smith and Joss Whedon.
Become successful in another medium because almost all Jeff Johns, Mark
Johns,
Waid, I think even Millar, almost all those guys came out of TV.
But you know what? What's depressing, though? I found out recently that Jeff Johns actually had something to do with Lethal Weapon Part 4.
Well, everybody's
Hey, man.
everybody's got to eat.
Hopefully
Yeah.
the Jet Li
don't
part,
ever
that was
say that,
awesome.
Leon.
Joss
Hey,
Whedon
at least
used
he
to
didn't write. At
Roseanne.
least he didn't write Teen Wolf 2. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
or RoboCop 2.
but
What's
with
RoboCop too?
But yeah, I mean, but it's funny because a lot of these guys who are in TV now, they actually started in comics, years ago when you could do that. You could make the jump. Like a lot of the guys from Smallville came from comics, and went over there. Mark Verheiden, who's done, he started.
He did Battlestar, too.
Well, he
Battlestar
started with
Galactica.
Dark Horse when they first started, when they were doing really good comics like The Mask and The American. And,
Wait, did he do Alien vs. Predator? Actually?
He might have. Yeah, yes. As a matter of fact, he did.
Before we get into the esoteric, to really answer the question, you get into writing comic books the same way that you would get into writing anything else, like TV or movies, or start writing, start taking some creative writing classes, ask a lot of questions, start submitting scripts. Write for magazines, write for your high school newspaper, write.
So in other words, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
Okay.
it's
Let me
tough
give you
to-
let me
yeah.
give you an answer that will fit you better. You don't necessarily have to start in movies or television, but you do have to start getting published. And that means starting at the bottom with the small publishers. You want to hit up the guys who only print black and white books. Getting your name in the credits on some books. You need to get that going on a regular basis. And then when you go to conventions and you talk to people about your writing, if you're just some dude with a manuscript, it's like, so what? Yeah, give me your manuscript. I'm going to toss it in my suitcase and lose it before I get back to the office. But if you're a guy who's already been writing stuff, you can hand me your books that I can read on the plane on the way back, and I'm impressed by it, then maybe I'm going to remember you.
Well, you also are going to have to learn right off the bat two things. First, you have to be able to write quick, because that's one thing they look for. Somebody's like, we need somebody to turn in a script tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you have to be that guy who could actually do that, who could go, sure, I can bang one out real fast. Second, you're going to write some shit for free, and you just need to be prepared for that.
Okay.
You're going to be very familiar with the term on spec.
Yes. Well, I mean, the thing was, back in the day, you got apprenticeships. Whatever it was you wanted to do, you worked under a guy who did it, and you worked for free. You were his bitch. But along the way, between the wax on, wax off, you learned the trade. You built up an acumen. People got to know you.
Maybe you wrote for a Jewish guy named Stan who stole all your ideas and then said Excelsior at the end of it.
Yes, either that or you actually invented the light bulb and some other dude took credit for it.
I will make one little suggestion. Go to Mark Evanier's website. It's called newsfromme.com. He does have one section that's specifically dedicated to, hey, how do I write for comics? Mark Evanier's written for TV, film, comic books. He's the main guy who writes Guru the Wanderer. He did the biography of Jack Kirby, and that's, speaking of apprenticeships, that's kind of how he started to get into the business. He was Jack Kirby's assistant for several years, but he really knows the skinny about this stuff, and he'll give you some very, very discouraging but very, very well-meant advice.
What about webcomics?
Or you can just have sex with co-host. He'll get you right in there.
What?
Well, that's what you keep telling the fans.
What? I'll do what? Wait,
That's what he told me.
Well,
No, I think
does this have
the
to-
co-host brings up a good point though about webcomics.
Well, one thing you need to do as a writer,
just do
one of the best
It's
things you
too
can do
soon.
as a writer is find an artist in your town and hook up with him. Be his best friend, take him to lunch, get him interested in the stuff you write. Because there's a good chance there's a comic book artist in your town who just needs stories. And you provide him with good stories to draw. There, you got a team.
Leon,
that's
I got
the first
some stories. You
Well-
draw, right?
I'm busy.
For the amount of
You know what? I
webcomics out
would,
there,
but I was holding coffee.
for every
Leon's mine. Keep your hands off him.
for every 500 webcomics out there, one of them is successful, moderately successful.
And it still didn't make any money.
And was it
Right.
called Last Blood?
No.
Because I want to say that one at least was a webcomic. I think it was.
called
Was it a
Cyanide
Perry-
and Happiness,
the
or-
most famous one I know
Penny
about
Arcade.
is Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
And those guys learned to make money doing other things. I don't think the comic itself makes any money.
No, let me tell you something. I learned this in a caricature class like two decades ago. You don't make money off your comic strip or anything like that. It's all merchandising. Back in 1995,
Merchandising.
Picture like Saul Brodsky smoking a cigar. Let me tell you something, Leon. It's all about the merchandising.
Last
it is.
Blood,
I mean,
the
nobody wants to
flamethrower.
hear
The
that,
kids
but
love this.
There was back in 1995 when the web was new. There was a guy who used to do a comic strip every week about a female assassin. And his
1995, no one was alive then.
well, I'm telling you.
We're only dinosaurs.
That's the days of candy whistles.
Step into your time machine and let me pull out my three-dimensional blackboard, the 3D BB. But he did this comic strip about a female assassin. I can't remember her name. It was something generic.
Is it Electra?
Electra?
And no, and his artwork wasn't very good. But the thing was, this guy sold T-shirts and buttons and whatnot, and he made a good living off of it. And all he had to do was just make sure that strip came out every week. Was one strip. He didn't charge anybody to look at it, but he had a link to buy, the T-shirts, and from that he made a good living.
That's
that was
actually
all he had to do.
Weekly?
That's actually
I
something.
hope Charles Schultz is peeing on that guy.
No. But see, Charles Schultz followed that same model. I mean, Charles Schultz didn't. Charles
Yeah,
Schultz.
no.
Charles Schultz made peanuts off peanuts. But where he made his money,
it's funny because Peanuts is the same thing as not making a lot of money.
yes.
Oh, I get it.
But the lunch boxes, the animated specials, the clothes, and oh my God, that MetLife deal. Charles Schultz.
I
Charles Schultz
gotta
died.
tell you, I've got a Lucy vibrator, and it is fucking amazing.
More money in his bank. He died one of the richest entertainers of all time.
Well, something that Kristen Hogan, a Dead Squirrel Girl from Stable, we interviewed her a while back, or you guys did. I wasn't there, but she
you were too busy.
She had
stalking her.
Jason, does she have big breasts?
no. She said that she makes all of her money off of merchandising.
Yeah.
Off her stuffed squid.
Off of her or off her stuff?
Which is not an allegory.
Not out of stuffing her squid.
Well, okay, a good example
See, ladies,
is,
you have to be here for the co-host to sexually harass you.
A good example is what's Strong Bad, right? They're not making any money off that
No.
website.
No.
In fact, I don't even think they really have much in the way of advertising on there.
Not at
but
all.
those fucking T-shirts
I never realized it, but
for the dragon
Co-host
and
sounds like Strong Bad.
No, I don't.
See, that's
What are you talking
shit. I mean,
about?
I was
man?
like I was working with people in a small town.
Looking through my emails, looking for a female.
Are you done yet? I was working with some people in a small town in Virginia at one point, and dudes had Trogdor T-shirts on, and you're like, dude, this is for like a tiny little website.
That's why it pissed me off that it took us 2 years to get Spill T-shirts.
Yes.
Which, by the way, buy plenty of Spill T-shirts.
Say,
I know,
hello,
are those selling
Dr.
it all?
Obvious here.
They look
Buy
really
Spill
good.
T-shirts.
They look really good, and they're good quality.
All proceeds go to Leon.
Yeah. Leon only knows that because he owns all of them.
That's true. Every
he's
time I
supporting
see
me.
you've got a different one on. What the hell? Plus, women will have sex with you if you wear them.
I will, because I am not officially affiliated with Spill, I will gladly sell you a authentic LEOG stick figure drawing for $20 to $30, depending on how many members you want in the picture.
Dude, I'll...
the range of price, $20 to $30.
Now, just the 4 classic members, $20. If you want the extended members, $30.
All I gotta say is co-host 3000 panties. We're in the money. We're in the money.
Well, you know, as Steve Allen best said it, it's like, hey, kids, go into your parents' room, into your dad's pants, and pull out his wallet. All those green pieces of paper, send them to me, and I'll send you a balloon that says sucker on it.
All right. Old reference, Steve Allen. I mean, come on.
Yeah, for real. I get all this shit, and you're referencing Steve Allen?
They'll never know who it was.
Send me all your money and I'll buy cherry phosphates for the whole crew.
And don't forget the serialized Fitzgerald. Can I get some randomizer guitar music?
I don't even think Fred Flintstone knows who that is.
Oh, man, it actually gave me the same one twice. What are the odds of that?
That's no randomizer.
Iron Man asks, has any of you actually fallen in love with a comic book character? And yes, Death in The Sandman.
Really?
Yeah, sure. You were like, wow. I think on some level I kind of made peace with my own mortality.
You're like
being hot.
Thanos.
It's true, I am. And you'll find out why at the end of the night after you've had just a few more of those homebrew beers.
Except without the funny chin things.
Yeah, well.
I've shown my love to a comic book.
No!
character.
I can't hear you. Randomizer music. Go.
I remember being young and just really being into the Invisible Woman.
Well, at least you remembered to be young. That's a challenge unto itself.
That was
Hey,
Leon was into her back when she was just Sue Storm.
Yeah. I was going to say, you just liked her because that way you could like have sex with her and only see yourself in the mirror.
well done.
Gonna puke.
Best joke ever, Cyrus.
She's like, you're great, Leon, but reads a little longer.
I kind of doubt that, actually.
He can be as long as he wants,
You
bitch.
doubt that Reed Richards would be longer than you?
Trust me, dude.
All right. I never thought I'd say this, but drop 'em.
Challenge.
I mean, come on now.
I think I can dig out some prizes here.
There's Mr. Fantastic, and then there's Mr. Oh, God damn.
Holy
What about the rest of you fruits? Anybody? Anybody?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, my dick's pretty big too, actually.
No, I mean comic book
you mean
characters that you love. Yeah, that's
I went through most of middle school having an incredibly huge crush on Kitty Pryde. Yeah,
All right.
I'm not ashamed of that at all.
dude, she's like 14 years old.
Yeah, and when I was in middle school, I was 12, so that would be okay.
And it's funny, like no matter how much time passes, Kitty Pryde is always 14 years old in my head.
So does that make you a pedophile, though, if you still have fond erotic memories of
No.
that when you're older
No,
and
I
she
do not
hasn't
want
actually aged?
my old, fat, ugly adult ass to have an affair with Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, as you
I
grow
want my
older,
live 12-year-old body.
as you grow older, they all stay the same age.
Thank you, Matthew.
Jason, did you have one?
The Baroness? No.
Don't get me started on that.
Yes, no, don't.
Yes, let's not.
Not a comic book character, but Dana Scully for me when I was growing up.
Oh, well, if you're going to go there, I have to say Lieutenant Uhura.
Hey,
You might as well say Aunt May.
wow, you're old.
Yes, I am.
Aunt May would be for Corey.
Hey, if you want sick, she looks a lot like my mom. So it's a whole weird kind of thing going on, too.
I'm really uncomfortable right now.
I was going to say, this is getting
right,
a little
I got
off.
I love
got
me.
one.
I love me some Tess Trueheart from the Dick Tracy comics back in the day.
I got one.
Co-host.
All right, Jason, I know you probably will.
Jason? That's who you in love with?
Yes. He always turns me on when he says, "I'll fight you."
Show me on the robot where co-host touched you.
All right, here is.
No, co-host always had a crush on the brave little toaster. Let's get over it.
Hey,
Let's keep interrupting him.
I love bitches. Anyway, Casey Hack. Oh,
Casey
my
Hack.
God.
Of course.
From
Hack and Slash.
I love that. Is a woman in every sense of the word. Her beautiful
A woman
black,
who will
Except for the
ruin.
fact that she's two-dimensional.
her
a
fishnet
woman-
stockings always do it for me.
That is a woman who will ruin your fucking life. Right
Man,
there.
that's exactly
Even if she
what-
wasn't hunting serial killers.
Well, how's that different from the rest of you guys? Come on.
Are you sure it wasn't Small Wonders from the 80s?
Oh,
That little robot
man.
Oh, man.
Man, that's digging. That is digging in the
Hit
bile.
below the belt.
I think there's some cock measurement going on over here between Grant and co-host.
Hey, my dick is bigger. No, that's my dick. Hey.
Well, which one is your hand on?
God, we have no hands.
Some randomizer music, please. I'm still scrolling. Okay. Spambot15 asks, if you could get anyone, and I mean anyone, fictional, dead, etc., to guest star on a LEOG, who would you want it to be?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Well, that would be interesting, but he might come armed.
That's
So-
okay.
Okay, I was about to say Charles Bukowski, but
Oh, that's pretty
only
damn
because
good.
he probably
too.
want to
But
fight one of you
he'd
guys.
drink all the beer.
Yeah.
Oh no! Here's a better one. Jeff Loeb.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
So
a
we
great
can
answer.
know what?
beat his ass.
You know
No,
what? I
dude,
would like that. Because
That would
actually,
not be good.
I
Because
like
we would
Jeff Loeb.
we
I'm
would
sorry.
dogpile on him and talk shit. And he'd be like, "You guys are right. Ever since my son died, I haven't been able to write the same." And then we'd feel like shit for the rest of the broadcast.
But I'd be the robot in the back going, "You leave him alone. He's just a kid."
I don't know. I mean, who would we want? In all seriousness, though, if we really could, like, say, get somebody and be like, wow, that'd be a great
Oh, Rosario Dawson. Hello.
No,
No,
not
no.
Rosario
El-
Dawson.
Hey,
Eli-
she's
hey,
clearly into geek
You
stuff.
keep your fetishes to yourself, okay?
Okay, outside of her, I would say Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde would be
Because he would be so fun. I mean, we would like probably shut up.
You wanna do
because
him,
everything
too.
he would say
he
would be
probably
so
would.
funny. We'd be like, damn, I can't touch that.
I mean, if it was like
Probably-
within reason, I'd say Patton Oswalt. I'm like,
Oh,
I think
oh,
I'd
no,
love
he
him.
would be great.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like,
Yeah.
if we're doing people alive, I'm going to confine mine to like comics, and just two people that we could never get because they're dead: E. Nelson Bridwell, who is like, and Mark Gruenwald. These two guys are. Bridwell knew the DC universe back, forward, starting and going. He was just like one of the continuity guys, and his encyclopedic knowledge. Mark Gruenwald, same way. Not to mention being a pretty damn good writer. He did a long stint on Captain America, and probably if he hadn't died, like after Jim Shooter left, he probably would have been editor in chief of
Oh, yeah.
comics
Yeah.
easily. But yeah, if I could get either of those two guys on and just let them just talk about their experiences.
Ooh, pick me.
Say something funny,
I would
please.
say Rip Taylor. Hello, Frisco. Kids.
What are you talking about? I'm here!
Oh, the confetti.
Pixie dust for everybody!
It'd be an instant party, dude.
Okay, I just want to say I used to work at a bar. Well, I still do, but I used to work at a bar a lot, and we had to actually ban confetti and silly string because it's fucking impossible. Years
clean up,
later,
yeah.
you will still be finding little
It's
bits of
because you guys
confetti.
don't know how to have some fun.
So maybe when we have one at your house, where you can have the ghost of Rip Taylor.
Man, that'd
So
be-
is that why we said gay people couldn't come in the bar?
Hey,
No, never mind. Never mind.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. We had a LEOG that had Oscar Wilde and Rip Taylor and Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley, yeah.
And Pee Wee Herman? Oh, dude.
And Grant.
Capote.
And Grant. Charles Nelson Riley, wasn't it?
No, Center Square for the Hollywood Square.
Oh shit.
Who was Center Square?
Ball Lynn.
Paul Lynn.
Paul Lynn.
Yeah.
Paul Lynn.
That was the best Simpsons comic book crossover when they were doing the kitschy Batman era Radioactive Man, and his special guest villain was Paul Lynde as the Scoutmaster.
And-
Don't be afraid to use your fingernails, boys.
And for all the kids out there, Paul Lynn, he is the guy that inspired the voice for the alien character in American Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of kids don't know where that. I mean, you've heard him in a lot of different cartoons, just that voice being used, but it's inspired by an actual
Yeah.
guy.
Dude,
I
I
forgot about
absolutely love Paul Lynn. And the funniest thing about Paul
Like,
Lynn is
love
like he
him,
was
love
like,
him?
well, what funny thing about Paul Lynn was like he was flaming, homosexual who like never came out, and he was also like extremely anti-Semitic. it's like he was just total paradox, but he was so funny.
Just
J. Edgar Hoover.
YouTube Paul Lynde, Lynde. Just put it in.
Okay, two musicians, and you guys
Walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Get the fuck out."
You guys are not arguing with this
Stevie
at all.
Wonder and Ray Charles, so they can bump into each other.
No. Hey, no, we don't want. I don't
Don't
wanna,
say Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder.
no, that's the danger word with Cyrus. No, no. Miles Davis or Jimi Hendrix.
Miles Davis. Fuck that.
All right, well, then
I love Jimmy, but my favorite story about Miles Davis was Cicely Tyson got him to go to a fucking White House dinner with Ronald Reagan in the office, and this woman was sitting next to him, and she was like, "So, what have you done?" Right. And he looked at her and went, "Well, I changed music 5 times," and he wasn't shit. He was absolutely spot on right.
But Jimi Hendrix would bring better drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what they would do for the podcast, but they would sure hook us up on horse. Right.
Well, if you guys are bringing those guys, I'm bringing in Cyrus's favorite, and I'm bringing in Gigi Allen.
Well, wait a minute, you said my favorite and Gigi Allen? Because it's not Gigi Allen.
All right.
I never actually saw him, but I saw the after effects of one of his show because I had a friend who worked at a club where he played, and I was like, "Hey man, come on after, and we'll like go out and
It is.
Don't tell me
do
you
something
stepped
in the
in it.
office afterwards." And I'm like, "Dude, what is that you're doing?" He's like, "I'm cleaning up Gigi Allen's shit that he throws out in the crowd during his show."
No, it is. I was living in New York then. No.
Fuck him.
You were
No.
there? Did you
No,
witness
you don't want to see that.
the terror?
You really don't want to see that, co-host.
Yeah, if you want to see something that crazy and
No,
punk
I-
Well,
rock
he's
and
dead.
off
That's
with-
why I'm saying
I
that.
have actually been at a Gigi Allen show, and yes, you don't. want to.
Now, Wendy O. Williams, sure.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, because sooner or later that electrical tape wears off.
Yeah,
and falls.
or whipped cream. Sometimes she would come in with a whipped cream instead. So
Oh yeah, what was that movie she
And
was
sometimes
in?
she would go outside in the parking lot and destroy your
Reform
car.
School
She's-
Girls.
Reform School Girls.
Girls.
Yeah, that's the first time. Yeah, she was also in a porno.
Really?
Called Candy Part 2.
Really?
Where I think she's the first one to ever like do the ping pong balls through the
Really?
tush.
Really?
Yes, that was her gig.
I want evidence on that. That sounds apocryphal to me.
Yeah, look it up. Candy 2.
I mean,
well,
I
not
didn't
for
know.
the kids. Kids don't do that.
I didn't even know she was in anything. Other
Really?
Yeah, no. She was in a porno film called Candy Part 2. Candy Goes to Hollywood.
I'm calling
and she
now.
was on a show. Now, during the film, there's a show like The Gong Show. and you see her dancing around. She's topless.
Oh wait,
And
this is like the Green Lantern story.
Wait, am
Never
I the
mind.
only one
Randomizer.
wondering why
No, no.
co-host knows this movie inside and out?
Okay, well, the girl. Okay, now the girl who played Candy.
keep
Can I
going.
interrupt co-host again?
No.
The girl who played Candy in that Candy series. I think there's only 2 of them. Okay, that woman is the mother of the chick in Ghost World.
Thora Birch.
Thora Birch.
Oh yeah, because her dad
mom-
is like a total porn star.
Yeah.
Producer
And her
or something
mother
like that.
is the woman who played Candy, and she has the biggest rack
Cans?
you will ever see in your life. And she's research.
Well, to be
that,
honest,
look it up.
Thora Birch does have big cans.
Yeah. Is it? She does.
Oh,
That's where she
boy,
gets
does
it
she
from.
ever.
Yeah.
What happened to her?
If I could have any guests on LEOG, it would be co-host.
Get away from me! Hey, I love you. Oh, wait. I thought you meant as far as me doing ping pong tricks. I'm sorry.
No. It helps him tighten up his impression.
What a pal! Best
Wow.
friends.
I have a terrible, terrible image in my head right now, which was never there. Can I,
think
have
it's
some of
time
that brain bleach that you keep...
I think it's
there's
time for some
there's a bottle of
randomizer music.
bourbon.
What? The big breast part?
No, the idea of putting ping pong balls in you somewhere inappropriate.
Dude, she introduced that.
Get in the pooper!
But they did it. There's a great scene in
Dude,
Zombie
what are you
Strippers
squeamish
that they
about?
did.
It's like putting a plate in a toaster oven.
I know.
Big
Come
deal.
on.
The co-host.
Okay, randomize.
Okay,
Yeah, please. Yeah. I'm sorry. Now I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Okay. LP Fan 43 says, "Do you guys think there could be a good musician biopic about a musician who did not sing? And if you could, what musician would you make it after? And no classical musician."
Yes, now see, I read this question online, and that is such bullshit. It's like, you can't use classical musicians because why?
Yeah,
Amadeus.
Amadeus.
I understand his point on that one because there hasn't been one about a musician other than a classical musician.
Apparently,
Like
there's a
no
big
pop
Keith Moon
or
biopic that's been in the works that
Mike
Bird.
Myers.
which is probably not going to happen now.
I guess nobody saw Bird.
Oh, that's true. Clint
Yeah,
Eastwood's
no,
Bird.
Clint-
yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
In fact, hell, I even wrote a review for that for Spill. Goddammit.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Never read it.
What about a Van Halen movie?
Oh, dude, I would be all over that.
I would love to see a Van Halen movie.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
mean,
awesome.
Certainly, biopics have focused on people that do sing, but I mean, come on, the rock and roll world is rife
To
with
be-
guitarists that are waiting to have their pictures taken.
To be fair, biopics are about people who can sing and do drugs. I mean, every goddamn last one of them is about, okay, they started out humble, they rose up, they got into drugs, they tumbled down.
What are you doing?
And at the
this
very
is
end,
crystal grade weapon. This is weapons grade crystal meth, and you don't want no part of this shit.
I mean, I can't believe that Walk Hard was a flop because it totally like captured every goddamn last one of those
still shocked by
biopics.
that.
I
You're right.
adored
Yeah.
Rock Hard. I thought it was his.
Yeah, I did.
It was
too.
great.
That
It's
was
the
even in
greatest.
Bird because Charlie Parker died of a heroin overdose when he was 35.
Lady sings the blues.
Yeah, nobody wants to do like a biopic of like Paul McCartney, most successful songwriter of all time.
I'll do
Would
it.
be- I mean, because
I
he's
don't
still
know.
alive, and other than he married a crazy one-legged woman.
I do want to see a
what else has
movie
he done?
about one. I do want to see a movie about one of the Beatles fucking a one-legged whore.
Yeah.
Would that be Ringo?
I mean, I gotta say, Greg, as much as the audience loves you, they will love you so much more once you flame out on heroin. I mean, you might want to go ahead and get started on that because we don't have quite 1,000 members in the
A
league
very
yet.
special Leog.
But I don't want to die.
Dude. Come on.
You can't use my
It's better to
heroin.
burn out than fade away. Don't you know the musician's code?
I think that the main problem is that biopics are always looking for a band leader.
Oh, wait. Tina Turner. Well, the Tina Turner movie. What was
Yeah,
that?
but she's
The
a
last
singer.
I checked,
Yeah, she
Tina
sings, that's
Turner
right.
Yeah.
But she
Okay.
didn't do heroin.
I'll say that's almost.
I did, though. but-
I'll say that's all. It seems almost impossible only because the one guy who I would definitely think a movie should be made has already been made. Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
And Sid and Nancy.
Sid and Nancy.
Yeah,
great
I love
movie.
that
You talk about a guy who couldn't play the bass.
Although
right.
he
Who
did,
couldn't do anything besides
he did
get fucked up and
arguably
portray an
sing.
image.
That's true.
you know?
That's true.
He
Well,
did arguably sing.
Well, he
What-
did, but
Okay, here's
He
one thing.
screamed.
he
I
talked.
would.
it my way. It's great.
I think what you will find if they do start making biopics about people that aren't singers per se, you're going to find more jazz musicians because you can have a jazz leader who doesn't necessarily sing, and in fact, there's a lot of jazz music out there that does not sing at all. John Coltrane would make a great biopic. Jaco Pastorius would make an awesome
that would make a great one.
biopic.
But
Esquivel.
Miles Davis.
Esquivel.
Esquivel. And there have been really good biopics about big band leaders that have been good. Glenn Miller.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
an awesome movie.
I got one. DJ Jazzy Jeff. What the fuck has that guy been doing? Come on. How does he feel at the end of the day when his old partner is all making billions of dollars?
and the Andrew Ridgeley movie.
Yeah.
Will
Well,
John
they had
movie.
it. It was called Music and Lyrics.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Originally
No, that would be awesome. Like he goes to like every
I
Will Smith
believe,
movie. Like he comes out of I Am Legend. He's like, it wasn't as good as the book. And his friend's like, you're just jealous. That's your whole problem. No, I just didn't think it was as good as whatever, dude.
I was really hoping in I Am Legend that DJ Jazzy Jeff would show up and he'd be like, Will?
I believe Jazzy Jeff is busy taking like several advanced level Scientology courses.
No, he's actually working at a car wash with Alfonso Rivera.
Alfonso, were you in Silver Spoons? Yes, I was.
We had to take a little break because we all discovered that we were running low on whiskey power. So we're back now. Blah, blah. You can tell we took a whiskey break there. We're back now, and we're ready for some randomizer red hot
We
action.
had Aquaman make some dolphins, bring us some Crown Royal.
You know what's hilarious to me right now? Grant just looked at me and said, "You mean we weren't recording when we were going off on our Batmobile rant for about an hour?"
Don't dismiss the good stuff.
Hey, man.
We just spent the last 20 minutes talking about the Batmobile.
Hey,
and we weren't recording.
we want to get some pussy in the future.
Grant looked at me like, "What the hell?"
I didn't get why
Are
you
you-
guys were all talking into the mic.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Bruce Willis was a ghost?
Yeah.
What?
The whole time when you were gone on the beer run for us, Grant, we were just going on and on about the Batmobile.
I remember once when I was standing in the lunch line, I smelled this girl's hair in front of me, and it smelled so good, and I'll never smell anything that good again.
And now you're wearing her skin.
Oh, is that what that is? That is a nice jacket.
well, she did turn out to be a hooker.
You're not dancing outside in the moonlight.
What lunch line were you in?
All right. Jarl Labrelk. I don't know how to say that. Jarl Labrelk.
Yeah,
The guy
I
who
know.
does the spill spoof
Okay.
posters, right?
Yeah, I like
would-
Jarla
yeah,
Broke.
I do too. Jarl Labrelk.
Is that a D&D name?
Says, could you think of a cast and crew that could convincingly pull off a Cowboy Bebop?
No.
I've never seen Cowboy Bebop. so
Okay,
I've
Cyrus,
got-
let me tell you this. As much as you don't like anime, as much as Bo doesn't like
Oh, I don't
anime.
not like it. I just haven't
No,
seen much.
I have seen episodes, and I think it's really good.
It is the one anime that
the
you
guy
would
who
like.
wears the blue suit jacket, Johnny Depp. Anything other than that, everybody go.
Okay, Johnny Depp is a bit of a fidget, so I don't think of him as
Yes,
Spike
but
Spiegel.
Johnny Depp is made and engineered by anime producers.
That's true.
You do realize this.
No.
Look at his hair.
No. Elijah Wood. He's made by anime producers. The small nose, the big eyes. That's totally him. Yeah, Spike Spiegel. I know. I mean, they're saying Keanu Reeves. So it's like I guess we got no
Which is
choice.
Are they still saying
unequivocally
That's
horrible
all they
idea.
ever say.
Instead of a Cowboy Bebop cast, could you engineer a LEOG cast?
No, we can't.
Well,
Oh,
no, that's a different
that's easy.
question.
Okay, Cyrus Owen Wilson.
What?
What?
I
But Bo Quentin Tarantino,
Done.
Jason, Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
Let's see. For me, I hear Jeffrey Wright or Cuba Gooding Jr.
Did you just Robin
Cuba
me?
Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
Easily.
Really? Okay. Greg, let's see.
Some black guy with a big cock.
Denzel Washington 10 years ago.
No. I'd say either Tay Diggs or Lenny Kravitz. Grant is you're total James
Bilbo
McAvoy.
Baggins.
I was thinking Michael Cera, really.
No,
but-
Grant's compared to every actor who plays a Hobbit. So it's either Elijah Wood or James McAvoy, and I see James McAvoy whenever I look at Grant.
I'll take James McAvoy
And
over.
the thing about Grant, really hairy feet.
Hey, can Christian Bale play me?
No.
Only the screaming and yelling and cussing people out part.
Dude, no.
Both of them.
Now, Cyrus and I have a really nice Art Deco stainless steel toaster that is still operable. We'll use that for you, Robot.
And it'll be
Oh,
voiced.
no. Johnny Five. Johnny
it'll-
Five for the co-host.
It'll be voiced by Mel Blanc.
Yes.
What?
Beady, beady, beedy,
I'm
beedy,
gonna
beedy.
get Gary
Get to
Coleman.
the chopper, Buck.
I'm gonna get Gary. Hey, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna get Gary Coleman to totally play you, dude.
Chris O'Donnell, though?
He does have a
I
nice
thought we were
throw,
friends.
That's not right.
Hey, is Billy Barty still alive? No, never mind.
All right, I changed my mind.
Maybe we should. Is there? Raise your hands. Let's race through this question. Is there anyone who's qualified to answer this question who watches Cowboy Bebop regularly?
Oh, I did. I watched.
Oh,
almost
all
every
All right,
episode.
we have Jason and we have Leon. Let's go.
I will say that Cowboy Bebop is fucking awesome.
It is.
to be
Even the
honest.
movie, all the way through to the movie.
Okay, I mean,
yeah.
the movie probably isn't as good as most of the episodes of the series, but it's still not bad.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fucking amazing series, sci-fi. I mean, Cyrus, you've never seen it, but I won't say it will change your mind about anime, but you would love this
I
series.
actually do like anime. I just haven't watched that. Much.
But I'm saying, like, if you saw this, you would go like, "Oh my god!"
And
I never
not
knew
a-
it could be this.
It ends on such a poignant note. Just
It does.
bang.
I mean,
all right.
there's
Somebody-
there were like a
So
couple
who
episodes,
would-
at least one episode that made me tearful.
So
Yeah.
who would you cast?
Yeah.
Who would I
That's-
cast?
that's
Who would you
the
pick?
question.
Okay,
that character.
see, I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm not somebody who looks at animated or comic book properties and immediately thinks, "Ooh, I'd like to see a movie
I
of this."
agree.
I don't want to see a movie of everything I read.
absolutely hate it when people say, "Hey, who would you cast for a movie?"
Yes, but if
I-
you worked for a big
Yes.
studio,
I have no
and
idea.
you were in charge of picking the casting, who would
You know what?
I would cast Michael Keaton.
Fine. Spike Spiegel, the lead actor in Cowboy Bebop, Ryan Reynolds. There you go.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes,
That's what we're looking
yes,
for.
absolutely. Spike Spiegel or Ryan Reynolds, Michael Clark Duncan is Jet Black.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, and Faye. I think Faye would be. What's
It would
her
have to be
name?
somebody-
That one
'cause-
cutesy girl should be Scarlett Johansson.
No,
I've
No.
never seen that. I don't know.
I'm up for every single thing that's every animated character. Any anime character should be Zoe Deschanel at
Yes!
this point right now.
Faye-
She's already she is the girl who's the live action anime.
No, because Zoe Deschanel cannot wake up for any role she's in.
Deschanel, guys.
Deschanel.
Okay,
Thank you.
fine.
I never can pronounce her name, but I think she's-
Deschanel, Duchanel, whatever. She sleepwalks. She sleepwalks through every role. It's like,
No,
sweetheart.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck you.
you're-
Everything
You're
I see her
absolutely
in.
wrong.
I-
Leon.
I-
She's like
Absolutely.
she's like too cool to act.
No, I adore
Yeah, I'm
her.
just
You're-
gonna
you're
like
wrong.
mumble my. She's the female Michael
See,
Cera.
You did not go see 500
Whoa.
Days of Summer,
What are you saying
and you
about
will
Michael
change
Cera?
your mind after you see that.
You know, I think that girl's cute, but every time I see a
Also,
picture of her,
did
somebody.
you not see Elf? Did you not hear her sing?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh
like her in
my
Elf at
God.
all.
Well, she's
Oh,
a singer.
I
yeah.
adore her. I
Every
think
time,
she's
okay. The
awesome.
only thing with that chick is I think she's pretty, but every time I see like either a comment or a blog about her, somebody always puts her picture up next to that weird bat-looking animal with the big eyes.
Who, Dobby from
Yeah.
from Harry Potter?
Yes, there's always a picture.
Wow,
of that
that's
creature.
burning my brain now.
I always feel bad for her.
I don't
It's
know,
like,
man.
she's not that bad
I think
looking.
I said in my review of 500 Days of Summer, she is the Arwen of the indie rock world. She is the elf queen of indie rock, and I think she's awesome.
She strikes me as somebody you'd have sex with, and you'd be like, sweetheart, you might want to wake up for this. It's actually pretty good.
That being said, do we have any other cast suggestions?
I would like to replace her with Dollhouse. What's her
Do
name?
we have any?
Oh, Elijah
cast-
Dushku.
Oh, yeah.
Elijah
Do we have
Dushku.
any cast suggestions from people who have actually seen Cowboy Bebop?
Instead of just throwing out the
Instead of
actresses
just
that
throwing
you
out
like.
random
I would go with
fucking
Grant.
actresses.
I think Elijah Dushku might make a good Faye
Awesome.
Valentine.
I think we've gotten our trio. Randomizer.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Janik the Krav, whatever the hell. Does anyone know what that means? By the
I
way,
know what Krav is.
He's a regular commentator, but what's Krav?
Well, Krav is short for Krav Maga, which is a Israeli fighting style.
Oh, but the Krav?
You mean that
yeah.
Jennifer Lopez practiced in enough?
Actually, yes.
I think the answer is no.
No, the answer is yes, actually.
We don't.
Ironically, this goes to a question that I fought you all off on answering earlier when we got off topic, where he says, I was curious, what do you guys think about Punisher movies? Do you agree with Carlisle that the character is a
I
weak
think
concept
this is all.
for a movie?
This
They'll
is all
never make a
co-host
good-
and Leon.
Do you think there's a possibility there
like
could
the
be a good Punisher movie?
Okay, let me just jump in right now because I'm in the middle of my review of Punisher Warzone.
Yes.
And
But
Punisher
you're
Warzone.
just pimping the shit out of it and you're not even up on the site.
Well, it's weird because Punisher Warzone it totally falls in my guilty pleasures movie of like if somebody said like, man, that movie sucked, it was shitty, I'd be like, you're absolutely right, but I still like this movie.
Don't talk to Corey about
I mean, there's enough things about it that it's trying to do that's right, even though it totally fails. But the thing is, yes, there could be a good Punisher movie. Matter of fact, there's been two. One is called Man on Fire, and the other is Taken.
And actually, I'm going to go so far as to say I really like the Brave one. I was the one who loved that movie.
You are
That's a good
you
one.
are the
You
one
are the only
because
one.
I finally saw it on HBO. I'm like, wow.
One
I
summer,
really like that
You're the
movie.
brave one for liking that.
one summer, the Punisher movie with Thomas Jane came out. Around the same time, Man on Fire came out.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen either one, and one of my friends said, "You know what? Don't go see The Punisher. Go see Man on Fire and pretend Denzel Washington's name is Frank Castle."
Yeah.
Here's the bit. I have
One
not.
wish. One wish. I'm sorry. No, my
No,
favorite line. No. I was just saying my favorite line from that movie. One wish. One wish. I wish you had more time.
Yeah.
Which is a total Punisher line. Here's the deal, boys and girls. Any A-list superhero, supervillain, what have you, whatever you want to cast the Punisher as, it's completely capable of making a good movie. If you get somebody who really understands the character, does the research, and gets actors that are willing to do the research as well. Barring that, there may be 15 attempts to make an Iron Fist movie and they'll all suck. But if somebody who really gets Iron Fist and reads like the new Iron Fist series,
I am completely available to direct an Iron Fist movie.
yeah, you're gonna get a good Iron Fist movie. As far as the Punisher, there's scads and scads and scads
such a
of
simple
incredible.
idea.
It is simple.
Yeah, there's nothing complicated about it at all. There's nothing even comic booky about it all. Some guy who, originally a Vietnam vet, you couldn't do it this way right now because he'd be too old, but a veteran of some war, he comes back, he's having a picnic in Central Park with his family, they get off by mobsters for some reason, and he decides that, fuck that, I'm not going to let that go, I'm going to go after organized crime in New York.
Co-host.
I don't
Boom,
understand why they cannot just make a badass. Okay, the one thing I liked about the Punisher was the guy who played the Punisher. I thought he was the only
good.
one. He was the only one who's taking it serious. But why can't they put?
And Ray Stevenson is awesome. He's
Why can't they just
awesome
fucking make a Story of Ricky movie with the Punisher?
That's
Hell
no,
yeah.
but
Hell
dude,
yeah.
that's what Warzone is.
Where
Punisher
I-
Warzone is totally the story of Ricky with the Punisher.
But the problem is
but
it
just-
holds back even so. You're watching it, you're going, you're almost there. You're
Yeah,
almost at
exactly.
that point
That-
where
that-
I would
that's it.
like
Pick
I was
a
like,
direction.
I'm about to blow my
Pick a
load, but
direction.
I
something
just saw it
stupid happens, I
again,
can't.
and it is so
that's
story
the
of
thing.
Ricky.
It was like, here's why Punisher Warzone was not an incredible movie. And is, as Leon said, a guilty pleasure because they decided to take the script from Garth Ennis's run on The Punisher, which is an incredible fucking run.
which they
But-
did with the with the Thomas Jane one.
But
they took a little
But
bit.
they
of
took
it.
that one Russian guy.
Yeah.
But what you have to do is, if you're going to do the Garth Ennis run, you've got to go over the fucking top, say, no holds barred, whatever, even if it's cartoony, we're going to fucking do it. Violent as hell.
The Punisher just needs
And
to
they
take
did.
all his victims to the fucking zoo and throw them in the polar bear cage and in the fucking gorilla cage and just let those fucking animals have it.
or alternate way of doing it, the way that I think that if they're going to sell it and turn it into like the movie that we're talking about, the actual good Punisher movie at this point, is that whole gritty, like, hey, this is really violent, but not in a campy way.
Yes.
Holy shit, I can't believe that
Get
thing
William
that like
Friedkin to do
hurts
it.
you just to watch.
when
Let
I
me tell you-
when I watched the trailer for the trailer for Warzone, I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome because this is a guy who is not pitying or
Exactly.
humanizing
Right.
these guys at all. He's out there to fucking kill the
It's the
fucking
closest
shit out
you've
of them.
ever gotten to a real Punisher
Yes.
movie,
Yes.
and yet it's
Absolutely.
still not a good
It's still
movie.
not good.
You got to
Yeah.
make it
I mean,
make
the-
it
the
with
thing
Because they couldn't decide.
I mean, when
was
it comes down to it,
Those
it's like
villains are the one that the villains in that movie were the one thing that ruined it because those fucking villains were like the most stereotypical like Italian.
the biggest
fucking
problem was the
goombas
villains,
that
yes.
were just it was
Garth
Simpsons
Ennis,
ridiculous.
and Garth Ennis' run, he didn't like focus on Jigsaw or the villains.
No.
But the thing was, he pulled off that trick that's so very hard to do. It's the kind of thing that South Park does, where it's total satire, but it's not goofy, it's not spoof. It's just very intelligent, and it walks a fine line, but it always does it. And if you come in and try to copy that, if you can't walk that fine line, what you're going to do is straight out spoof and parody, and it's going to just look goofy. You're going to make yourself look bad.
Yeah.
I think you really got to make it with a washed out color palette, make it look all gritty and grimy and bland, kind of like Narc or
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah.
French Connection. Get
And
Chan,
also, yeah, 70s. I was about to
yeah,
say.
get Chan Wook Park to direct it.
Hell
the guy
yeah.
the guy that did Old
Nice,
Boy.
nice.
And give it kind of a feel like High Noon, where it's this
Seriously,
one
I
guy,
agree right
where it's this one guy who's going to do the thing that everybody knows is right, but nobody wants to help him.
In
do
the
it.
past,
The only guy who got this right in the new one that totally nailed how the Punisher should be is the guy who played the Punisher. What's his name?
Ray Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah,
from
he
Rome. From Rome.
nailed it. Oh yeah,
He totally
perfect.
nailed
He's
it.
Frank Castle.
And here's the thing: you should walk out of a Punisher movie not feeling like, "Wow, he got the bad guys, all right," or "Wow, I can really understand where that guy was coming from because his family was killed." You should walk out of there going, "Holy fuck! I can't believe fucking human beings can behave like
Perfect.
that."
I tell you what.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one scene in that movie that just told me, okay, at least for this brief minute, this is the Punisher that I want to see, but I want to see it throughout this entire film. Is a scene where that fucking guy is leaping across the building doing his
shoots him
fucking
with a rocket
somersault
launcher.
shit, and you just see a fucking rocket out of the fucking blue just trailing away and fucking hit that guy, and he blows up. I'm like, that's what I want throughout the entire film. That's
well,
the Punisher.
to me,
okay?
that was throughout the rest of the
Exactly.
film.
But you know, the other thing is, I don't know if you ever played the Punisher video game.
I played the demo,
Okay,
and
now
I loved
the video
it.
game. Okay, there's a scene where the Punisher, you have the option to throw a fucking guy through a fucking a helicopter through helicopter blade.
The answer is yes.
Yes, and I wanted to see that in the new movie. I
No,
wanted
the
to see
only
him
multiple
grab the
que-
guy
the-
and throw it in the
The only
fucking
multiple
helicopter
question
blade.
should be like, should you throw this gentleman through a plate glass window of a 500-story building? Should you throw this gentleman into a whirling helicopter blade, or should you throw this gentleman into a polar bear pit? Those are the only three options available for you.
Why
my
not both?
favorite-
Why not polar bear and fucking
Exactly.
My favorite Punisher moment ever was the opening page of one issue of like Punisher War Journal or something from several years ago, where there's some dumb, jacked up thug pulling a knife on an innocent woman, and Frank Castle happens to stumble upon it, and he's looking at the guy, and the first line of the comic is, "So this is Christmas."
Can I say real quick? The first time I ever read a Punisher comic, I read a Punisher comic, and I also listened to Slayer at the same time.
Hell yeah.
And those two make the both. Those are like Reese's Pieces.
And by the way, if you really, really, really want to make a good Punisher movie, here's how you do it. Hire a guy named Ed Brubaker, make him do the screenplay.
Hell yeah.
And here's the plot. The Punisher walks into a bar. Everybody in the bar goes, "Oh, God, please, oh, God!"
And it's like the scene in Near Dark where Bill Paxton and his clan walk in and just start fucking
Well,
shit
you
up.
almost have to start a Punisher story with showing, like, all right. So we've got to have that thing where we understand this guy's broken and have total empathy for him. But the very next scene should be him doing something with no emotion at all that is so unbelievably cruel and inhuman to someone, to be able to get information to lead him to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
Like pulling someone's fingernails out with absolutely zero expression. Just
Raping a Girl
watching them
Scout.
Well, you can't. You can't have. That's not the Punisher.
All right. On the Raping the Girl Scout
he does
line,
not
we're going to
kill
bow
innocents.
out. Randomizer.
That was a very evil girl.
There was only that one brief period where he freaked out and started shooting people for crossing the street in the comics.
That Girl Scout was dealing heroin. Randomizer.
But
That girl has a collection of penises.
I mean, one thing
She
I will say,
deserved-
like, Ray Stevens was like Matthew Fox in Speed Racer, where he's like the one guy who really studied the character and knew what he was doing, and everybody else was going like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah, no, including the director of Punisher Warzone, who is like, no, nobody really takes this seriously. Let's just make a goofy, campy movie. And Ray Stevenson's like, I actually kind of like this character. I think I like what he's capable of doing. And yeah, he showed in that, despite all the bullshit in that movie, I loved him every time he got to actually. Yeah, it's focusing.
Yeah,
on him.
he's totally on point the whole time.
I agree.
When you guys keep talking about Ray Stevenson, I swear, is that not the guy that was Dorf, or what was that?
No,
That was Tim Conway.
No, Ray Stevenson
maybe think
is
about Ray
3
Stevens.
times the size of Dorf.
Yeah.
He was the scary motherfucking legionnaire in Rome.
You're
Awesome.
thinking
Ray
the guy
Stevens?
that. Are you thinking about Ray Stevens, who sung "The Street"
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Guitar
yes, thank God.
That's who I meant.
and Alley Oop and everything is beautiful
He's a guitar man.
in its own way.
Randomizer, go!
Oop, oop, oop.
The randomizer is active, and what the randomizer says is $, however I'm supposed to say that,
Excellent.
says, if you could team up with any superhero, who would it be, and what would be your power? Now, to be fair, this is probably a question we've answered.
We've answered that one before,
but
because I blew it off.
So
Let's
not only
go ahead
that,
and give
it
this a
is,
quick-
I'm sorry, D with a $sign. Stupid fucking question.
what superhero would you team up with? I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I you know what?
Your mom and my secret power would be fucking her.
Honestly, I'm gonna good one. I'm gonna say right here, and I said I wasn't gonna do this, but it's just not specific enough.
We've answered that one before.
We've
I
answered
would
it so
team
That's the
up
many
reason
with
I blow it up.
Superman.
And-
He would kick everyone's ass, and he would give me a lot of money, and I'd.
Okay, like most of us like agreed it was Tony Stark because he was rich and he's a playboy, and just like the runoff pussy would be
actually,
awesome.
We did that.
There are too many variations on this question we've already answered.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm nobody's sidekick. So
I
fuck that.
haven't done this question.
All right.
Yeah,
Co-host,
fair
go
enough,
ahead.
co-host.
Casey Hack, only because she usually has to take a shower to wash off.
I would team up with Spider-Man, and my ability would be to fight Satan.
Oh no, your ability would be gay.
My ability would be to fight to fight Joe Quesada and Dan Didio.
I mean, let's be honest. Like of all the superheroes in the world, Spider-Man gets his ass kicked the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he pretty much goes in and lets people kick his ass so he can learn.
Which
Hey,
means,
Jason, you could at least
which
lick his
means
wounds.
any sidekick like first offing, he's like
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
like, oh, sorry, Spider Lad.
Yeah,
I said
every
Superman.
episode would be like, I will avenge you, Jason.
Did Jenna Jameson have a superhero for a while? Okay, never mind. We'll just hit the randomizer
Next.
again. Dr. Detfink, one of my favorite.
I love Dr. Detfink. Even though him and Bo had their whole thing, I love Dr.
I
Detfink.
love Dr. Detfink.
He might be my favorite guy.
Yeah,
Because I just say like,
please
he had-
don't say this before.
I
the
already
question.
don't like
So, is Bo gay or what? No, that's
Yes!
not the question.
Yes, I am.
Which there's nothing wrong with at all.
No.
The only way to keep
Well,
Bo quiet is to put my cock in
I
his
don't know about you, but there's something wrong with the way I'm doing it
All right, no, in all seriousness.
because I'm doing it with
Dr.
chicks.
Denfin asks, I've come to admire the musical palette you have listed on your pages. I'd like to hear about the last memorable live music concert each member has taken in. Please elaborate on why you enjoyed the artist, plus what songs and or albums to take in.
Okay.
Which I love this question. I was like, you know what?
I love that question,
I
too.
like being asked about music.
I mean, I probably talked about this when he died, but like, I've seen Isaac Hayes 3 times.
I didn't know that.
I did. And the first time was like an outdoor show at Dallas. It was like $5 for like some kind of new age festival, but he played.
That was called Scientology, not New Age.
No, it was actually sponsored by Nokia, and then like even though you pay the $5, you had to listen to like the Nokia employee band first, which I was heckling, and my friends were like, shut up. But when he got up there and he played, he was awesome. But the thing was, it was mostly kids who only knew South Park. So that's all they were waiting for. Like I'm like these people probably don't even know the difference between Isaac Hayes and Barry White.
These fucking kids these days.
But then the next time I paid $72 to see him at a music hall in Fort Worth.
Whoa!
And it was the greatest.
Back up. $72.
$72.
No, it's 1972.
$1972.
No one was alive then.
It was a single.
Who's the man who? It's Xenu. Let me just stop you right there.
Hey, it was the
It
single
is.
greatest concert I'd ever been to. He tore it up. Great show. Got to meet him after the show. One of the highlights of my life.
Whoa, you met him?
Yeah. I got to meet him, talk to him, get his autograph, everything. It was so. And he was sick. He wasn't even going to come out and meet fans, but I stayed in the back of the building waiting for him, like Mean Joe Green.
That was the last memorable show?
Yeah. I mean, I saw him one more time after that. But this show, it's funny. Like at that other show where all the kids knew was South Park. Now this show was more of like an older black audience who loved all the older shit. And they were into it. And then when he played Chocolate Salty Balls, they were all looking at each other like, what the fuck? I didn't pay $72 for Isaac Hayes to tell me to suck his chocolate salty ball. And even he kind of felt like the vibe and had to explain. He was like, well, you have to understand, I played this character on South Park who does these things. It was awesome. And outside of that, Tenacious D, believe it or not, was the second greatest show. I saw them twice at South by Southwest.
Music Hall, the one that
Yes.
Brian Brushwood gave us all the bootleg copies of.
And the funny thing was, like that second show that he gave us bootleg photos. Like I got too drunk at that show where I'm like, yeah, it's a great show, but I can barely remember it. And I listened to the bootleg CDs he recorded, and I listened to it. I was like, wow, this is a much better show than I remember it being.
Oh yeah, I remember running into you at that show, and you were hammered.
I was hammered.
Yeah,
I was gone.
you were drunk. In fact, there was I have a great story from that show.
Oh no.
Where this is at the Austin Music Hall, a pretty big place, and I got sent out to go get beers for I can't remember who I was with at that point. I think it was with Cheryl, so I went to go get beers. I came back and everything had stopped. Something was going on. There was a bunch of people jumping around. I look and a fight had just broken out between two, practically stripper-looking girls. Right? I mean, they were fucking like throwing beer on each other. They had ripped each other's shirts open.
Hell
boobs
yeah!
popping out. And they were fucking beating the shit out of each other.
This is the greatest show.
And I was there before.
I thought you were going to say they were fucking.
No, I was there before the security guards had gotten to it.
Shit.
And the security guards, I watched these security guards run up and just stop. And just go. And they literally sat back for a second and crossed their arms and just looked and went, the sheer beauty of this is, I would just be wrong.
They
You
said-
could just see it in their eyes.
Now we're talking
Battle.
double
You do
team.
You
But
do
then
not
they-
interfere with destiny.
But then they actually shook it off and went in there and broke it up. And everyone around went,
Homo.
But
That was me.
I actually want to hear Greg's answer on this one.
Okay, Greg.
So there's the last memorable show.
Hey, the question says, I'd like
but
to hear about the
remember-
last memorable live music concert.
Well, this is pretty good since it's right after South by Southwest. Actually, and this is going to be a funny one. But
Here we go.
I'm laughing already. Yeah.
no, but Beyonce's sister, Solange, I was shocked how good she was.
Who?
But Beyonce's sister has got to.
Solange Jen Knowles.
So yeah, Solange Knowles. She put out this second album where she does like this rock funk thing.
Rock.
Like
Rock.
I mean, she
Yeah.
gets off, she sings, she got a live band, it's great. She jumps off stage, will walk through the crowd, and like I've got video, I got to put it up on my blog, but I've got video of her like walking right up to my camera and stuff. She's really, really fucking cool.
Is she naked when she does that?
No, but
Then I don't care.
Yeah, I figured that. But she was. I was just shocked. I saw her twice in South by.
Really? I had never heard
That's
anything
good.
about her at all.
Yeah,
I'm
she-
not a Beyonce fan.
No, neither
She
am
does
I.
nothing for
And
me.
I didn't know who this girl was. I'm like, who the hell is
Did
this?
she
She's
sing
good.
pretty much the same type of music?
No, that's the thing. She
Really?
does like rock.
No,
like,
because
if you're
Beyonce
familiar,
sings R&B. And
if
she's doing rock.
you're familiar with like Betty Wright, no, you guys wouldn't be. But anyway, like it's like black rock.
I love the Golden Girls. It's a great show.
Exactly. But like it's like black rock with the I can't even.
Like Hootie and the Blowfish?
No, no, man, no. It's like it was like
Living Color?
Not even like Living Color, but it's
like
like
Hardcore Parliament? or
no,
Like the Fat Albert Band?
No, it's like Oh man, no,
Bad Brains?
no, Patti LaBelle's group. LaBelle.
Emmett Otter and the Jug Band.
LaBelle,
Yeah, it's like
Emmett
LaBelle with a
Otter
live
and
band.
the Jug
Yeah.
So it's
It was like the
really,
Fat Albert
really
group.
really heavy disco funky.
Yeah, no, but just
But it
with a
wasn't.
band and with good songs, and she talks about like being pregnant at 17.
Like
and
Diana
that-
Ross.
No.
Okay, well, I want to take this
Anyway.
opportunity here for you because you have a really excellent personal blog that I enjoy regularly.
Oh,
reading.
thank you.
So if you want to
Thank
throw out
you.
there,
You do have a good
if
blog.
you want to throw out
It's-
there, it's up to you what your
yeah,
address is.
well,
for that
no,
blog.
well, okay, well, it's linked through my homepage on Spill.
Well, there you
on
go.
my page.
Yeah, just check out
but
the-
it's
the-
but it's also it's inblognegro.blogspot.
What did you
What?
That's
How
right.
dare you, sir?
Inblog
I
Negro.
am a Negro.
Robo Negro.
Robo Negro.
You're a
Inblog.
stainless steel American. Shut up.
Yeah, it's stainless steel American.
Hey, these parts are from Mexico.
No, they
Bo
better be
wins.
from
That's the line of the
Congo.
night.
that was nice.
That was the line of the night.
Stainless steel American. I love that. But yeah, it's inblognegro at blogspot.com if you're interested.
I'm on it.
Jason.
Friends of mine will actually see
You
this
have
as-
no friends.
as no surprise. Roger Klein and the Peacemakers at Green Hall in Central Texas. Yeah,
It's not Huey Lewis.
it's not. No, hey, no joke. I love me some Huey Lewis, but I have never managed to see Huey Lewis live.
Yeah, you've told me that's like, guys, if you want to get a present for Jason when his birthday comes around, tickets to whenever Huey Lewis is playing. It's
Fucking love
definitely
Huey
the way
Lewis
to
in the
go.
news. Anyway,
Plane tickets.
no, Roger Klein and the Peacemakers. What is their website? azpeacemakers.com. Their original incarnation was the Refreshments. They did the theme song to King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And it is the most kick-ass rockin' bar music. They're like one of the most successful internet/indie bands.
So they're
in
kind
the
of like
world.
Ry Cooter.
No, not so much. They're more very much Tom Petty, John Mellencamp.
Oh, okay.
That kind
They're
of thing.
Americana.
Very much
American
bar rock Americana, and I've seen them probably close to 30 times now. They put on a huge show on the roof of first time I saw them was on a roof of a bar on the beach in Mexico. Damn. And they play 2 shows every year on the beach in Mexico.
So the environment
Well,
might have
hopefully
had
they'll make
something
it at
to
some
do
point.
with it.
Yeah. It is just decadent and just a good time, lots of good vibes and everything. And they're going to be back in the Austin area in May, so I will be there.
Awesome.
But,
I might come with you. That sounds like fun.
it is a lot of fun. And
I'd rather go
I mean,
see him in Mexico.
Yeah, well, they do lots of like tequila shots before every song, and man,
Will the cartel be there if I go see them in Mexico?
If you go see them, they will be. You owe
No,
them
but you're-
a
I'm
lot
hoping
of
it'll
money.
be an exciting show.
Let's go
Well,
now.
you know, I just got through doing a South by Southwest stint, so I was in one place.
Braggart.
Doing well, yeah. I'm bragging about being a really tired bartender.
a
in the
service
same
industry employee
place,
during it.
laboring for the service industry and not being able to get out. And I saw some really awful bands. And if you would like to know something about them, by all means, ask me a question on my FAQ. But
Hey, that Heckler's band, I kind
what-
of liked them.
one of the yeah,
play some songs.
one of the happy instances of that is I saw a band called the Black Hollies, and I was like, well, this is interesting. Are they going to be anything like the real Hollies?
Were they black?
I dated a white Holly in high
or
school.
would they be black? And you should definitely Google the Hollies and check out their music. And you should also
Graham
Google
Nash.
Google black people and find out a little bit about them.
Because there are some interesting things
There
about
are.
black people.
I've tried. I can't ever find anything.
There are
There's
some
nothing but
very-
black.
There are black people
Do
making
you
strides
know,
today.
Do you know a black person invented the traffic light, and that's why you're so annoyed?
One day
Anyway.
there might be a black president, for all you know.
No.
That's preposterous.
But-
There aren't any black people on the internet.
But back to topic, I saw this band called
Except
the Black
Prince.
Hollies, and I knew I was going to have a good time when they brought out like this vintage Vox keyboard and like Vox guitar amps and equipment, and I was like, wow, these guys are going to be really old school. And sure enough, they were. They did like this mix of like 60s garage punk, like and they did have a little bit of in common with the Hollies, but they were mostly like 60s underground rock and roll with a lot of soul influences. And by God, they passed a test that I didn't even know I had. They had a guy on stage playing tambourine and looking cool, which is so fucking hard.
Even the monkeys didn't make that work.
There was another band you would have liked called Magic Christian that had
Right
the same vibe.
But
they're
they
really good.
They did a great
Or
job.
the Doors.
And by all means, I'm sure they have a website out there. Google the Black Hollies. Well worth your time. I managed to hang out with their lead singer for a little while after the show, and
Oh my God.
God bless his poor girlfriend, because him and I were just going on about like
Because you blew him and she didn't.
and it was beautiful.
No.
Yeah,
I was just thinking like another band that looks cool with the tambourine. Jonas Brothers.
Oh, shut up!
We let you have the mic for that.
I'll give you that, and I mean this band had
Boo that man.
This band had like some things in common with them, because they were wearing suits, and one of them did play the tambourine, one of them played the guitar, but they did have one thing not in common with them is testosterone. So, but I did talk to the lead singer, and we had a great conversation about blues and soul, and especially 60s Motown, and watching the Blues Brothers for the first time, and seeing all those like great 60s like blues and souls artists for the first time, and watching it as a kid and saying, oh wow, this is a really funny movie, and then going back and watching it as an adult and going, oh my God, that's John Lee Hooker. Oh my God, that's Cab Calloway. Oh my God, that's Ray Charles. And just what a great experience that was. And they made my South by Southwest as far as musical experience.
Can I give a wait? I usually don't do this, but since you plugged,
Then don't do it.
No, but I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. No,
Do it.
But since you plugged the blog I'm on this, I do. Can I? If you're talking about 60s R&B and soul stuff, there's a new band that I'm actually in.
All right, I wondered how long it was going to take.
So I know, but I was trying to hold it
on
back.
that level, do you guys already have a singer? Or
Yes, we do.
Do you let people sit in?
No, we already have this. This
Who
band
is it?
This band's called
Because
Soul.
I have blue-eyed soul. baby.
Wait, you got this. Actually, the guy who sings, his name is Donovan. He kind of looks like, he kind of looks like Jason Bateman singing. Seriously, he's a guy. He's a really good-looking guy.
Does he sing Sunshine Superman?
No, but we do.
I can
no.
sing the shit
No,
out of
no,
it.
no, but we do.
Man.
No, but he sings the shit out of
Wanna
Let's
be a
Get It On.
Superman,
We
a
sing
Green
the shit out of
So we
Sweet
should check out this
16
band?
by Al Green. He does. It's called Soul Track Mind. So you should check it out. I actually start.
MySpace.
Yes, they do. So MySpace Soul Track Mind. I actually start playing bass with them.
Awesome.
Well, actually, after April 8th, I play bass with them every Wednesday at TC's Lounge on the east side of Austin. So you should check it out. But it's kind of like what Bo was talking about, kind of R&B, soul, like Booker T and MGs and stuff. And I'm laying down the groove in the bass.
Greg, that tambourine band that you were talking about, what was their name
Magic
again?
Christian?
Magic Christian. Are those the same guys that got their ass beaten by Robert Stack in the first Airplane movie?
Jesus.
Welcome to the LEOG, where we pimp other things that aren't involved with the LEOG.
Oh, I got a band.
Now it's
I got a
co-host's
it's cool.
turn.
All
Let's
right.
move on to co-host.
Thank God, one of my old school favorite death metal bands, Carcass, reunited. They played at played at Emo's.
Oh, dude.
Heartwork.
Is that
Dude.
death metal band that has a dog as the lead singer?
No.
That's wait.
That's K9.
K9.
That's right. Carcass is good. Goat abortion is better.
Goat abortion. Oh yes,
this
my
for real?
Yes.
No, there really is a death metal band with a dog as a lead singer.
Yeah.
No,
it's
you're
called,
bullshit.
No, they're called K9.
K9.
It's for real.
K9. No. Okay.
No one can.
I'll put
That one is called. That one's Poochie Petroside.
No, I will put some K9 on my page, and you will be able to listen
Oh
to
my
it.
God.
Because it's awesome. Oh, but okay, well, Carcass, that was badass. They were a group back in the early '90s that kicked ass. But as far as memorable, like super memorable bands,
Yeah.
Death Clock, dude. Death Clock at the music
man,
hall.
I'm kicking myself that I didn't go to that
you
show.
should have went.
I know I should have gone.
Corey Corey called me and he was like, "Dude, are you gonna go see Death Clock?" I'm like, "Does a pope suck the blood out of young virgins?" Yes.
Wait, you're talking about the one from the Cartoon Network?
Yes,
show?
yes.
Yes.
Because as much as I used to
They
make fun of that
toured.
kind of music, I've watched that show enough to where like I'm into it.
Oh,
like,
dude.
like when I'm watching the show, that 15 minutes is on. Like the first 7 minutes is all Three Stooges shit, whatever. But then like last 7 minutes, they start playing music. I start really getting
That
into
epic
it.
fucking
It is
badass
epic.
death metal.
It's totally epic.
That's why I love death metal, because when you think about that music, all you can picture, if you ever go to a death metal show, you want to see a stage fucking rise from the ocean,
Full of
Or
Scandinavian demons.
or rise,
Yeah.
just rise to the sky near the sun or near Saturn and just start playing like the most evil demonic music. Yes. Mermaider. Or of course my favorite, my classic briefcase full of
Cyrus, do something.
I don't know what
No!
to do. I'm
Death
scared.
Clock fucking rule. Okay, in their intro, the Death Clock intro, they kind of took a riff on Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god, it was so epic and so
Okay,
badass.
okay, guys, this is
All right,
absurd.
all right, it's Grant's
But-
turn, which the
Let me
answer
wrap
we
this
already
up.
know is Boston, and first time
Really
you managed to get
quickly.
past the gag reflex.
Is
So,
that they might
anyway.
be giants.
The most
Christopher
okay,
Cross.
Grant's
They might
talking.
be giants. Were awesome.
Ride like
But
the wind.
Fucking A, they are.
The most absurd or memorable experience was seeing a band called Parliament.
Oh, you got to go see
Because
Parliament?
what the fuck? There's some dude with some crazy rainbow afro. There's a pimp that comes out and does karate against a girl dressed up in a cheetah outfit. Aliens and people holding signs that say "fuck George Clinton," "fuck George." And
Are you sure you're not talking about Guar?
And they only
Dude, as far as I'm concerned, he's talking about my last Saturday night. What's your problem?
And over the course of 2 hours, they only played, I think, 3 songs.
Okay,
And they're
Grant.
the longest fucking songs I've ever heard.
Okay,
And
Grant.
let me
see-
guess, Bootsy Collins came out for like 5 seconds
See,
and ran away.
see, Grant, the
It's
problem
so
with you
absurd.
is you saw him now. Because I saw him back when I was in high school back in 1980. And back then, they put on a show where they had a guy come out in a karate gi and fight a girl in a cheetah outfit.
No one
and they
was
played-
alive
They
then.
played
High
for
school
6
was
hours
invented
and
in
only 2
1980?
songs. And oh, wait a minute. It was the same exact show
Okay,
that you saw.
Leonsky, the difference is you saw them on
playing.
drugs.
No,
I
no.
saw them so.
No.
We have all
What I'm telling
answered.
you is, when I saw them, however many years before, like, was it 30 years? It was the same exact show you saw. Only difference is they had a giant skull smoking a joint at that
I
time.
cannot forget Parliament is my point. But moving on.
Okay, now did they still have that?
generator.
Did they still have that same spaceship made out of Reynolds wrap?
Dude,
that
when I
came
saw
down?
when I saw them, they
on the
had the
fucking
spaceship
fish?
there on wires, and it fired off, but it was like a dud. So it shot a bunch of fireworks, but never went down those wires.
They would play 20-minute songs where each member of the band went away for 5 minutes so they could all like have their big bonk.
Toke up, yeah.
All right,
All right,
I do have. I told a story about that one Tenacious D thing, but I do have a specific like my own answer for this, and it's I never go see music anymore. I used to actually review music
Yeah, same here.
before I reviewed movies.
Yeah.
that was my first thing. I was like, dude, I don't play anything, but I was a much bigger music geek than anything else. And after a while, you're like, dude. I hate to quote that old quote, but writing about music is like dancing about architecture. It just seems kind of pointless
Right.
after a while. But the last concert I saw that really blew me away was several years ago before Spill with Leon and Corey and Carlisle.
And not me.
When a fan,
Oh, Nine Inch Nails?
When a fan of our old Access show, The Real
bastards.
Deal, bought us a suite at
Yes.
the arena.
Bought us a box.
And
He
it
bought us
buy
a
me
box from
shit.
the Frank Irwin Center to see Nine Inch
to
Nails.
see 9 Inch Nails.
Man,
now,
and
let
I
me
think
tell
the dude was
you-
either bipolar or on cocaine at the time.
I don't know, but all I can tell you is if you have never looked into getting a box seat or a suite at a big concert place, you need to look into that shit.
Yeah.
Because we figured it out. Like, all right, this one was like 14 people, right?
Yeah.
And if you broke that down, it was about $70 a piece. And $300 of that money went to your food and liquor selection.
Right.
Like, that was like just you had to spend that much on it, so that was part of the price. Dude, for $70 to see a perfect seat
Yeah.
for 9 Inch Nails, your own private bathroom, your own waiter,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
and like this
All that
giant
booze.
selection of booze, dude. That was arguably
Dude,
the
we've
best
got that
concert.
for free with Grant.
all of that to see whiny white boy with a keyboard.
No,
and
no,
and some
no.
dude who I didn't know brought some coke It was nice.
I see. I
What?
missed that, but
We mean Coca-Cola, young
Coca-Cola.
listeners.
Did you get that-
Coca-Cola.
Did you get the ice stuck up your nose again, Leon?
I'm going to say
Dummy.
this. I'm actually gigantic fan of Trent Reznor. I think he is one of those guys that
Hey,
you know they're
music.
coming again.
I know, and that's
And
it's
I
funny
know-
you brought that up
guys,
because I keep
please.
passing by seeing the billboard saying like for Nine Inch Nails.
Well, they're
it made
playing
me
with
think back to that night.
one of
we
my
were there.
other all-time favorite bands, Jane's Addiction,
Jane's
is
Addiction,
opening
yeah.
up.
Oh,
for
that's
that.
right.
And guys, please, guys, I know I'm like the redheaded stepchild of the site, but please let me hang out with you guys. Can I hang out with you guys? I've never seen Nine Inch Nails live.
Yeah, whatever,
And I
robot.
love
Well, we'll
them.
sneak you into the bag.
You be quiet
The
over
problem
there.
is, it's at the exact same location, and not every time do they open up the suites. But when they do, it's after already regular tickets.
Well, the
have gone
thing
on
is, to
sale.
get those suites, you gotta pay for that like almost a year in advance.
No, because they don't always announce that they're going on sale
Oh, okay.
until after a certain point.
All right.
Well, that guy, he
Well, we certainly wouldn't want to
he
argue
bought that
this.
so far in advance, and then realized he had to
On
go
a
out of
LEOG,
town.
We would much
All
rather-
I'm saying is, in your hometown, there's a big arena there, and they probably have
Yeah.
suites. If there's a big show coming, look into getting one of those with a group of your friends, because it beats the shit out of being some schmuck on the floor walking.
Because regular people suck balls.
Or a schmuck,
Let me hear some randomized.
or a schmuck robot trying to get in. Hey guys, what about me?
We're going to be pulling the Let's Do This with like a 3-hour show on this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
And we'd still be too short of a let's do this.
You can say that again.
And that's true. We got like 6 fucking people.
2
No, we got,
days
like,
short.
Fuck.
All right, a member that, as far as
We
I
got
know,
like
can
8
tell,
out 8 people.
as far as I can tell, a new member, Jobu needs a refill, which if anyone can explain to me their name.
Say, fuck you, Joe Boo. I do this myself.
I do this myself.
From, Major League, right?
Says, what is, in your opinion, the best death scene in a comic book? And no Rorschach, which would not be the best death scene for me
No.
anyway.
I would say
Yeah,
Craven.
but by the way, don't stick qualifiers on your questions. Come on.
Well, sometimes I understand.
I mean, sometimes I understand, but I mean, what? And it's not mine, you know. So it's
We're all going to
unnecessary,
compete
but
against each
what
other
if it
for
is?
obscurity.
I'm not.
no,
I've
mine-
said this before. I'm going to say Elektra's original death scene.
It is still
It
very
ripped
touching.
my heart out.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it's so unexpected.
Yeah.
I got 2. Craven's Last Hunt when Craven.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
One of the top 5
For
Spider-Man
the, well, I'm just going to say
ever.
it when Craven blows his brains out, and well, Bruce's quote unquote death at the end of Dark Knight Returns.
You fucker!
Good God, Bo just went all Cujo.
I know.
A froth of
I
beer.
will fight you.
A froth of beer and saliva cascades down his sweater.
God. You worthless prick.
All right, guys, I'm going to take a break in the split here. Antonio, who's our guest here tonight, has been frantically raising his hand to comment on every single fucking issue we've discussed.
Been pulling
here
a
today.
Horseshack.
And I'm going to
Ooh, Mr. Carter. Oh, Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter.
and I'm going to give him this. I'm going to give him this
Horseshack.
one. Okay.
All right. Antonio, go ahead.
Antonio,
Tell us.
I'm going to hand you the mic and give you let you have your answer for this one.
In 2 words or less.
Death of Captain Marvel.
Oh, the cancer.
Yes.
Bo just said he'll kill you.
No, actually, that is an excellent answer. I have to hand it to you. That is.
Well,
that
to
was
me,
very
the
touching.
best moment was when it was like, wow, Hank Pym and Reed Richards, all you guys have worked on all these scientific phenomenons. You haven't worked on how to cure cancer, and they all looked at their feet and kind of like went,
Yeah, for
sorry
some
about
reason,
that.
cancer just eludes us.
I can travel to the
Cancer's-
negative zone. I can
Cancer's-
enlarge
cancer's
my
not really
size
sexy.
by
I can
500
go,
times.
I can go through any point in time I want. But cancer? Yeah. That one's tough.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Man, in the graphic novel, they gave it like 5 different names for every like major alien race in the Marvel universe. It's, like, it's apparently a problem.
Yeah. Curing cancer and killing Hitler are the 2 things that are the hardest thing to
Because
do.
Captain Marvel
in
ain't
comics.
even human. And he's still got cancer.
One of my favorite deaths, going back to Fables, is Boy Blue's death.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
And again, you bastard!
You
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
God damn it, Grant!
Now I'm gonna have to go through this and add didgeridoo. God damn it.
Come on, they all die and come back.
And I'm gonna
It
have to
only
take.
came out like 2 days ago.
I'm gonna have to take said didgeridoo and sodomize Grant to death.
Okay, hey, you two, plug your ears, earmuffs.
La, 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 la,
I
la,
would just
la,
like
la.
to say when Boy Blue tells off Red about how she's a fucking bitch right before he dies is fucking awesome. I loved it so much.
Yes, it is.
And then he dies, and it's just excellent.
You know, I'm gonna say my favorite has got to be when all the fans jumped on Joe Quesada and ripped him to
They
shreds.
tore him to pieces
Wait a
like
minute.
that scene in Day of the Dead.
Wait a minute,
Choke
Cyrus.
him!
Yes, that was awesome. I loved it.
Wait a minute,
when
Cyrus.
that
That's
happened.
just a what if. How can we make that really happen?
Yeah.
I wonder.
I
Hey,
bet-
fans out there.
If
I will
given
say-
the opportunity, I could tear Joe Quesada apart with my bare hands.
Yeah. If,
All right. Since you people have fucking raped me,
Not
you
yet.
fucking raped me. I will definitely say Cassidy in Preacher.
Yes.
One of the most incredible
And-
death scenes.
Are you kidding?
And
'Cause
actually,
at
I
the,
am-
at the point he died, that motherfucker needed to die.
Hey, let me say
yeah,
this.
no, but he did.
Let me say
But
this.
as
I'm going
far
to be
as-
didgeridoing that because that's a huge spoiler
It is a
for
huge,
one of the greatest
it is
comics
a,
ever.
It is a huge,
so that one's gonna
it
get
is a
the
huge,
didgeridoo.
spoiler. Take it from me. But yeah, that's what I'm going to choose. I don't want what I don't.
Jason. I see you doing the same thing I'm doing.
Okay, wait a minute. If that's your stance,
Hey, I gotta.
whoa!
Badass.
If that's your stance, then go back and erase this whole fucking question.
No, I know. You're right.
Everything that has been said since this question was asked is a huge fucking spoiler.
Right, yeah, to be fair, there are those deaths that everybody knows about.
God, like
my
Uncle Ben.
All right.
I know.
So
Ben,
yeah, if
Captain
that's all I'm
America.
allowed to talk about, then I'll talk about it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, that's a spoiler. I can understand that. I wouldn't want to spoil that for someone, is all I'm saying. I wouldn't want to do that to someone who hasn't read it. And a lot of our fans are in the middle of reading Preacher thanks to us. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's completely legitimate, but I don't know, Red.
I think a Preacher spoiler.
Now I will try to come up
A Preacher spoiler is completely legitimate. I just didn't want to hear it because I haven't finished it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, you lucky
he
bastards.
doesn't, by the way, Jason,
I
just
wish I was
kidding.
you guys who hadn't read it yet, and we're in the process.
Yeah.
I still haven't read Alamo.
Actually,
As
it's
long
been
as-
so,
yeah, that's the one book
Oh, fuck.
It's,
I reread
it's my own fault. It's
I
my own
reread it
fault.
over Christmas break because I was organizing my
It's my
comics
fault.
again. Oh, it just stole my heart all over again.
But seriously, guys,
Bo's
just
back
kidding.
with something.
Bo's back with something.
No, I would say Ollie Queen.
Yes, nice one.
That was a good draft. Yeah.
It's amazing. And I don't think it's spoiling anything because
No.
obviously he's come back to life, so blah blah blah. But he has basically his hand up to his forearm stuck in a time bomb, and Superman is like, "Dude, I can rip your fucking arm off and we can get out of here and you can live." But it's Ollie Queen.
Yeah.
He's Green Arrow. Tends to use the arm quite a bit.
You do bring up an interesting point from all this, though, Bo, which is what is that definition of what is a spoiler and what isn't? When we're
It's
talking
true.
about
I mean,
comics?
there's a lot of stuff out there that I mean, I feel pretty comfortable talking about the major deaths in the Marvel and DC verses.
Yeah, I think it's
But
a
when you're getting-
self-contained story
Yeah.
outside
I
of the
agree.
major
When
verse.
you're
It's a
getting to
spoiler.
something like Preacher or Sandman or Watchmen or any number of those things. Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, this is a really integral part.
Right.
If people are listening
I
to this
think
podcast, they
that
gotta expect that spoilers will happen.
I agree
To a degree.
To an extent.
To a degree.
Didn't Predator draw a a little.
Yeah, the Batman.
Yeah, the Batman with Two-Face.
From the Dark Knight when Jace spoiled Rachel dying.
Yeah,
and Predator drew this picture of him like looking at his computer, listening at LEOG,
Screaming
and,
at
and then
his
Rachel
computer.
dies, and the Predator going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what the fuck? That was the best drawing.
She still deserved it.
and on that topic, I do sometimes have a big problem with the major comic book companies because sometimes I do think that taking back that death belittles the character.
I totally agree.
And they've just peed all over the best death in the DC verse, which is
The Flash?
Barry Allen,
Yeah.
who saved the entire, not only the entire fucking universe.
That was one of mine, you son of a.
Yeah, he saved the
blow
multiverse.
me standing.
Look, you only
can't do
get
that.
one. God damn it!
Yeah. How many are you gonna choose?
What is yours?
What's yours?
Well, I was gonna say the Flash.
Yeah.
In Infinite
Oh.
Crisis.
As well you should.
We let Bo talk too
very
long.
And really, if you want to break it down, like, you know, that is one of the two most significant deaths in comic history, which should not be fucked with. The other one, which has been constantly fucked with, and god damn it, will you just leave the poor girl alone, is Gwen Stacy.
Okay, you've just mentioned 5.
Hey, fuck you.
Chapter 1.
Fuck me or not.
Wait,
you,
five?
You mentioned 5 deaths.
What, how many? Wait,
Can I-
5?
I got one.
Oh, whoa.
Don't start cutting people off.
I did Green Arrow.
Don't start cutting people
I did
off.
Flash and Gwen Stacy. That's 3 by my count.
Okay, either way, that's too many. Co-host.
Can I?
Yes.
I did say Flash, but one other unsung hero
Oh, see, now
was,
we're all
of
doing it.
course, Superdog in the Alan Moore.
Crypto.
No, right on.
yeah.
Crypto.
No, that was awesome.
Crypto. In,
Crypto lives forever in my mind.
Whatever happened to the man of
Whatever
tomorrow?
happened to the Man of Tomorrow, where Crypto risked his life trying to save everyone, Superman,
Taking out the Kryptonite Man.
He took on Kryptonite Man, and of course he mauled him to death. Like, he killed him. They don't really show it, but he killed him. But at the same time, he was infected with Kryptonite.
And did you notice how
and he
Beppo,
died.
the super monkey, didn't do any of that?
Yeah.
Or Streaky, the super cat?
That's because Beppo was only 7, and chimpanzees don't go apeshit crazy until they're 8.
None
Oh,
of
that's
those,
true.
none
That's
of
true.
those super pussies had the heart
Yeah, right.
or
Imagine
or the
if you
drive.
would
Hey, Comet the Super Horse would have fucked up all you motherfuckers.
Hey, Bo and Leon, imagine what you could have done for the world if you'd applied all
Shut up.
that effort towards knowing things like
Hey,
Beppo.
Princeton, look at me. I'm right here talking
Hey,
about
man.
comic books, Princeton.
Come on. Surely I can make some money off of knowing all the names of the super pets, right?
I'm sure it'll get you laid someday.
But yes,
I can't believe
but yes.
I'm saying
Hey.
this.
I know all the original real names of the original members of the Justice Society of America, and don't tell me that's not going to pay off someday, you fucking prick.
Hey, man, that's got to impress Stephanie and Jim Nazi.
Leave Jim Nazi out of this.
All right, Grant.
Yes.
Well, I actually kind of already answered mine with the Fables.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
he did.
true. Yeah, you already
But
did.
I
that
do
for
think
Thanks,
that
spoiler
what Bo
boy.
brought up about the idea of the cheapening of deaths, especially with the fact that the main demographic of people who read comics are a younger generation who this is one of their first the first times they're exposed to the concept of death. Maybe not necessarily first, but the fact that anyone who dies comes back to life, it really does cheapen it. I think that's a problem that comic books is not being responsible about.
It is the kind of thing where, like, if a costume changes, if a different person is not that hero anymore, if they die, right now I just feel like, okay, I'll just wait until they set it right again.
Like the recent death of Batman. Bo,
I know. Fuck that.
Bo was joking about that. We were talking about
It's
the.
just like, Dick Grayson's like just wringing his brow about like, am I qualified to be the next Batman? And
No.
and Tim Drake's coming up to him saying, dude, who else could it be? And indeed, he's right. Who else could it be? But really, all that Tim has to say is like, dude, it's just for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Come on. What's the worst going to happen?
Right.
Bruce will be back any minute.
I was talking to Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy.
Doesn't it seem
We're
like
all
a sad inability to create new characters that they have to keep relying on these people and they have to keep coming back?
No, not at all. It says a lot about the importance of the continuity of those characters.
Just ask Jason Todd. Nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah, it's like, dude, Bucky's back. We're all good.
All right, we're gonna hit
Bucky's
the
back.
randomizer.
All right.
Yeah. I do a terrible impression of the guy from Pearl Jam. Chimera Triangle says, since you've made numerous references to Marvel mishanding magical characters like Doctor Strange, treating their magics like just another superpower, what would you do differently to better create the distinction? An excellent question, may I say.
Indeed, and what Marvel should totally do is do what DC did, and is start a Vertigo line.
Yes, which
Yeah.
they have tried before, but their mistake was
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with the rest of the continuity.
Yeah, they still are so they. Okay, if you're a young person, hit mute. Their dick is so buried in the hooker corpse of it's gotta be a superhero story that they cannot think outside the box.
Yeah.
Even in the stuff that they've tried to do. It's like Doctor Strange is, I mean, look at the original Ditko art. That's LSD crazy Grant Morrison territory. You can do some really incredible shit there.
There's that moment
The
that you go,
demonology that they have.
you really never occurred to you to say to Alan Moore, here's $10,000 to write a 6-issue miniseries about Doctor Strange to retcon his origin.
I think Alan Moore would be as likely to work for Marvel
Well, he wouldn't do it at
or
this
DC
point.
Comics at this
Yeah,
point
yeah.
as he would to
But
get
somebody-
on network TV and shove a
Somebody
swordfish
like
up
Alan Moore to say, you know what, we need to revamp our
Well-
whole magical universe thing.
And indeed, those people don't come around all that often. But yeah, somebody like Neil Gaiman who is willing to play for pay.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
No,
at all.
no, not at all.
So can I
You
ask
know.
you real quick? Is the Ultimate Universe anyway was responsible for fucking up any of these new ideas?
No,
No.
the Ultimate
It
Universe.
didn't-
is
I don't
just
understand what
gone.
you're asking, actually.
The Ultimate. Okay, well,
The fact that the Ultimate Universe
as far as the
integrates all those
retcons-
characters
yeah,
into one universe?
exactly.
Well, that's
'Cause
a separate universe.
I would assume, but isn't it more of an adult universe as far as?
Yes and no.
Here's the thing. What it comes down to is DNA. DC has always had an extensive horror comics DNA. I mean, they were doing horror comics at the same time that EC Comics was doing Vault of Horror and Tales from the Crypt and all that stuff. They had that going.
Yeah.
They've always been able to use that. Marvel has never had, even in its incarnations as Timely and Atlas, its stories have always been science fiction based. And in DC, you can still see to this day that like delineation between Golden Age mysticism and Silver Age science. I mean, JLA, those are the science heroes. And if you ever get anything like weird and freaky on the magic side, you've got the JSA, which has dealt with that shit time and time
And
again.
very
They're the
well.
ones with the
And-
Spectre
And to
and,
this day are
and the Phantom
still
Stranger.
dealing with it amazingly
They've got
well.
the Spectre, they've got the Sandman,
Dr. Fate.
they've got Dr. Fate.
I would like to throw this in here, having just recently become completely enamored of
And
JSA.
yes, and by the way, I would like to say at this point, in front of God and everybody, one of us! One of us!
that Jeff Johns' whole run of JSA is just godlike. It's just fucking awesome. I mean, yes, the whole thing is like every new run is like, hey, I wonder which new version of an older character will die, so
Yeah.
the older version of that character will somehow come back in.
Awesome! I'm getting it this weekend.
But here's
it's really cool when it just nails magic stuff.
and
for
that's
superheroes.
what it is. Marvel has never hired anybody that really has an idea about magic works. I mean, fuck. Grant Morrison is actually a chaos magician.
Well, yeah, he just does that for chicks. Though.
I mean,
I was
even
going to say, Grant Morrison actually
Yeah.
says he's a chaos musician.
But whatever, he's read the Kabbalah. He's read Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
He's got some kind of woohoo Fruit Loop background.
And he's not writing a Marvel
in the
magic
occult.
book. What the hell?
And nobody is writing for the Marvel. Even the really good writers, like Brian Michael Bendis and Ed Brubaker, have that. I mean,
Well-
Brubaker is an incredible crime novelist, and that is his background. And Brian Michael Bendis is an incredible TV writer or syndicalist, but
Marvel had a point early on where it looked like the magic thing was going to go the right way, which is what you already brought up, which is when Doctor Strange and
they
and
got
stuff
the
like
characters there.
and stuff like the Silver Surfer stuff that Kirby was doing. All that felt like the cosmic and the magic
more
were
that,
the same universe, and that shit was awesome.
You need to set up some rules for magic.
Damon, exactly.
Yeah.
There are no rules. There's no expansion. But Damon Hellstrom, Demon Hunter. I mean, there's so many.
What does it tell you that a silly DC character like the Demon is still heads and tails better in the two volumes, small volumes that were ever published of him, so much better than the endless amount of Ghost Rider bullshit that has come out.
I would throw a large hardback copy of Jack Kirby's The Demon at your head.
No. That's what I'm saying. There's barely, there's so little.
He's a minor character.
There's so
not a
little
silly
of
character.
it, and yet, Ghost Rider's so much better known, is so much a weaker character, even though the Demon is just an
they have
analog of Ghost Rider.
I wish.
Oh, don't you feel like Nicolas Cage put the demon? Put Ghost Rider on the map.
Shut up, you bastard.
He should be the demon in the new movie.
I would love to go back to the 70s and pluck Steve Gerber out of that time thing and time continuum. And
Well,
say,
dig him up. See what kind of stories he'll write for you.
And I would say, all right, you can't write.
Yeah,
Howard-
because he wasn't batshit crazy enough when he was alive.
But that's it. That's it. It's just hey, you can't write Howard the Duck, but we're going to let you take all of the mystical Marvel characters and go batshit crazy.
Well, you know what? I've been reading what Cyrus gave me for Christmas, the Essential Marvel Horror, which is essentially Damon Hellstrom, son of Satan, and Steve Gerber wrote the lion's share of those, and that guy was out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
It was just holy shit, he didn't care. He's just
hold
throwing everything
on.
in there.
Hey, Jason, I'm just going to play a little word association with you. Grant Morrison.
Acid.
There we go. Steve Gerber.
Acid.
There we go. See? We're plunging on 12
Hey
cylinders.
man, I said the same thing when I saw the Jonas Brothers movie. I'm like, man, if there was ever some kids who needed drugs, these are the ones.
Dude, I think we ought to petition Grant Morrison to write a Jonas Brothers movie.
Fucking A, yeah.
There you go.
I'm sort of the opinion that why do all of these Marvel characters have to be in the same universe? Is it not annoying to you guys that they always have to be integrated and you have to tie them in with every other character?
No, I like that.
To be fair, both of the companies have done that.
I know. I mean, DC did it too, but I just kind of wish that Spider-Man.
It's
could live on his own.
gonna take one writer to have balls enough to say, you know what, I don't want this character.
Well,
if you ask me, the
we were
Punisher
just,
should be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Jason and I were just talking.
Okay.
Jason and I were just talking about the Spider-Girl series, which takes place completely out of continuity.
But
I mean, there are plenty of Marvel things that happen outside of
the fact that Doctor Strange all of a sudden has to somehow be integrated into each one of these other storylines because he's not necessarily strong enough.
Well,
to
see,
carry
here's
it.
the
I
thing.
agree,
I
man.
think there needs to
Kinda
be.
sad.
I think there needs to be a presence of magic within the Marvel universe, and if you're going to have a presence of magic, you need to have Doctor Strange.
Well-
They are inextricable, and in order to do that, you need to have a solid foundation. You need to have some rules and some definitions of what magic is.
I agree completely with that, and I really think it would be great if they approach it like, say, DC does with John Constantine in the Hellblazer series. Which is hey, when we need John Constantine in the continuity, we'll bring him in. But most of the time, he's just fucking around with demons and shit that we ain't even gonna get near.
And Bo, can I say real quick, since you brought up, it's funny you said that because I was thinking this. John Constantine as far as the Swamp Thing series with the Alan Moore Swamp
Oh,
Thing.
yeah.
Whenever John Constantine showed up, I mean, that guy, he was incredible. I was like, wow. I would actually love to see John Constantine team up with Swamp Thing. Again at some point.
And he totally did. I mean, he not only the Swamp Thing, but he teamed up with the JLA a couple of times. I mean, every now and then where they were just like, well, we need a mystical character, but we can't really use a Dr. Fate. So
this is part of the reason why people are like, oh, come on, why are you so hard on the Hellblazer movie, on Constantine with Keanu Reeves? I'm like, I'll admit that as a movie that's just a movie, taken out of context.
Sure. Don't call it Constantine.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
I love that film.
It's not that good either.
That is one of the most amazing characters that have come out of comics,
And
characters in the last 20 years.
And that
given
character,
the amount of writing that has been done by incredible writers.
Yes.
And they had so much more to draw on than what ended up.
They-
on.
that character was totally based on Sting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was. No, it was.
It really was.
It was completely based on.
And
I would say,
to be fair, Sting would still make a
No.
really
I
good
mean, not only was he drawn to look like Sting, but they were like within the dialogue, within the writing, there were several like clues to
because
this is Sting.
And as far as
after
going
Jamie
back,
Delano took him over, though.
No, but I'm saying like when Alan Moore wrote it, he wrote
think?
it. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! It is. You can
Wait.
read it in the intros, and even when Jamie Delano was in head of it, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're totally basing this."
Well, he's casting his magical dream of the blue turtle spell.
and please let me say, if anything ever happens to Keanu Reeves, if he has a mysterious death,
when they first brought him about and got him involved with mystical dark powers, he left the police and left the best band of the 80s ever. So you do the math.
There you go. So if anything were to happen to Keanu Reeves in the next few days, if he dies from a mysterious death or saving the world, and we just will never know about
You
it.
can blame me.
I will say Constantine is by far one of my favorite movies that he's done.
Really?
Yes, I will.
Wow.
Go. And I love
will
Bill
agree
and
with
Ted's
that.
Excellent Adventure.
And once again,
but,
like I said, I think
I
as
will
a
agree with
movie
that, man.
in and of
Thank you,
itself,
Jason.
it was not too bad of a movie. I had a couple CG issues here and there, but on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole,
but
it
that
wasn't
has nothing
so
to do with
bad.
Keanu Reeves.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Devil's Advocate's much better as far as like his fantasy.
Much
stuff.
better.
You know,
I kind of thought
it
the
is,
pacing was
but
a little
I
slow,
love.
and
Yeah.
the big payoff wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Peter
I thought
Stormare as Lucifer.
Yeah,
God,
dude, he was the
fucking
greatest.
awesome.
I will say.
Okay,
that
I did
guy
like
was the
that.
greatest Lucifer ever.
Yeah.
Oh, over Al
I mean,
Pacino.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
no,
really?
no,
better than Al
No, Pacino,
Yes, no, I will
Pacino
say
and Devil's
better than Al
Advocate, that
Pacino.
is the best Satan.
No, I will say better than. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
I like
Better than Al
Pacino.
Pacino, but not as good as George Burns.
You are correct, sir. You are
For
correct.
the win.
De Niro. What about De Niro?
It was-
Louis
it was-
Cypher.
It was just really small scale.
Yes, but we're
in
having
that.
fun
It was just
now, and
kinda
that's
small
serious.
Get up.
I'm sorry.
You make
God
mistakes.
is an absentee landlord.
Yes. Thank you.
Come on.
I still like you,
The
Grant.
20th century is all mine. You got to admit that.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I gotta hand it to like even if you can't stand Keanu Reeves, like you just can't get past it. You're like, you know what? I fucking hate that guy.
And I have a good friend who's never watched The
Yeah.
Matrix because he can't stand
I know,
Keanu Reeves.
I do too. Who like I can't stand him, I can't take him, I can't believe him, I won't watch it.
Reeves-
But you have to hand it to Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate.
Yes.
There was
He made Keanu a better actor in that movie.
Yes, he did.
No,
Keanu
no, he
Reeves was
did, yeah, he
perfect in The Matrix. That was his role.
But I'm saying in Devil's Advocate, he's in and out. He's in and out. You get to that last scene, the third
No,
act
you
of the
were
movie,
absolutely right.
and
I
Al
will
Pacino.
agree.
It's like Al Pacino took him outside and said, "Look,
Yeah.
I'm
He
not
got a
showing up here
lecture, dude.
at 6:30 every goddamn morning for you to read your lines like a goddamn Tin Woodsman.
Yeah.
You better read these fucking lines,
better read
kid."
these
I know you're looking at that other actress. Yeah, I know. She got a great ass.
She got a great answer. Her head is right
all
up
up in it.
But the third act of that movie is just brilliant from everybody.
That was great. They got a big. That was a great scene in Heat. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
great
dude.
ass.
I thought that was an awful scene in
face
Heat.
is
It's
all up in
memorable. It's fun to quote. But I thought that was
stupid, 'cause it was
an absolutely awful scene
because
in
it
Heat.
was
I loved it when he
insane.
started singing.
Cyrus,
Yeah.
save us.
Yeah, Cyrus.
Oh.
Hit the randomizer, dude.
Let's hit the
There you
randomizer.
go, there you
Mr.
go,
Wizard,
Grant.
get us out of here.
Randomizer.
Randomizer.
Come on, Ziggy.
And it's number 2. 2.
Oh, good. Quantum leap me to a new body.
Witch King, one of our regular commentators, asks,
Witch King.
could you each name an Academy Award nominated performance that you really wish had won and why?
Oh.
He says preferably nothing recent, but come on, man. Our
Malcolm
memories,
X.
Yeah.
come on. You know.
Fuck. Yeah, Malcolm X. That's the first one.
Denzel Washington. That was over. That was
Okay.
That was Al Pacino.
Okay.
Over that.
Here's the thing. When you go back to the history of, and like they've admitted this. Al Pacino won for Son of a Woman. Okay, Denzel Washington should have got it for
He said
Malcolm
it that
X.
year.
Yeah, he
Denzel said I should win this.
No, he should have.
Yes.
But they owed Al Pacino from years ago when Jack Lemmon won it for Save the Tiger, and Jack Lemmon, they owed Jack Lemmon for something he did before that.
So what?
So I'm just saying the way they work
That's
is
the way it works.
I
guys,
know that's the way it works,
wait.
but still.
Was-
Then how did Kevin Costner win for best director and
Was-
best movie for over
because
Goodfellas?
because Marlon Brando
Kevin
showed up
Costner.
to accept his
With
Oscar
what
with an Indian.
With he won for
He won for Dances with
won-
Wolves.
Which
I
is
thought
the worst-
that was the year that it
Okay,
nominated
okay.
was Lost.
Was
'cause
no
Silence-
was
Silence
Dark
of the
Knight
Lambs.
Was Dark Knight nominated for Best Picture?
No.
Well then, fuck the award. Fuck them.
No, but Goodfellas lost to Dances with
cares?
Wolves, which I think is the worst
Moot
Oscar.
question.
All right, yeah,
thing
okay,
ever.
okay. Here, let me say something extremely controversial, which I found out.
You're wrong.
Don't be controversial.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna
Dances
say
with
it.
Wolves still sucks.
No.
Birth of a Nation was
No.
great.
I'm gonna say it.
what's up with that?
I'm gonna say it. I'm having a ton of people telling me what a stupid douchebag I am. But the year that Shakespeare won over
That movie sucks. I'm sorry.
I actually absolutely love Shakespeare in
I
Love,
hate that
and I thought it
You
deserved to win over
stupid
Saving Private Ryan.
No,
because Saving Private Ryan, it is awesome for that first 20-25 minutes, and the rest of it is just okay.
Oh,
It's-
bullshit.
exactly. No,
And
no,
where
that-
Shakespeare in Love
no,
did something,
he-
Shakespeare in Love did something that had not been done before, and is absolutely
Leon
sublime.
Is completely, absolutely,
Wrong.
and incontrovertibly
Wrong.
correct.
Oh,
Wrong.
Gwyneth Paltrow makes me want to
Wrong.
puke through the whole
Wrong.
thing.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
She tries to be a dude.
I really
Yeah.
I
I'm
really
sorry.
love
Bill
that
Bonaire,
movie.
that-
But you're right.
I cried in that movie. I thought it was absolutely. It was everything I wanted to see.
Who does she think she is, Yentl?
You cried in
Streisand.
bio.
You know,
Dome.
since the
Hey, didn't
since
she
the
win for
toaster
that,
was
too?
only made 10 years ago, he can't really be expected to understand Elizabethan sensibilities. But if you do know a little bit about that, then Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare
is
in Love
fucking
is so brilliantly written.
I'll
and-
come
and
out of the
acted.
closet.
Ben
I
Affleck
like that
comes on
movie.
for a little bit, and he's awesome in the movie. I mean, everything about it is so perfectly
See,
done
right there.
from beginning to end.
I'm sorry.
And Saving Private
I
Ryan,
mean,
as
I-
awesome
I
as it is for that
even
first
love-
20 minutes, the rest of it doesn't live up to that.
Leon,
I
we
even love.
we turned off your
well,
mic, actually.
Hey, here's how it goes. Man, Shakespeare in Love made Ben Affleck seem good.
It did.
And, you know, if you can do that, then you should
No,
win.
no.
Hey, look, they can never make a good Punisher movie, all right?
You shut up, co-host.
You shut up, co-host.
You get in the chopper.
Everybody get to the
I
chopper.
agree with you, Coase. They could make a great Punisher.
Somebody set off that EMP. Get this over with.
Oh, dude. What if they did a Shakespearean Punisher movie? I'm all there, baby.
I'm
Bring
sorry.
it on
Hey,
there.
you know what? I got the one. I got the define because it said performance, not movie.
Okay.
Okay, that's
It's the year Tom Hanks won for Forrest Gump over Morgan Freeman in The Shawshank Redemption.
Fuck yeah.
Well, hey.
Well, the problem with that is that nobody went to
not
go
only did he
see
win
the
over
Shawshank
Morgan Freeman, but he won over Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
No,
Andy
no,
Dufresne.
Samuel
Jackson
Jackson,
was-
was not nominated.
I know. He's nominated for Best Supporting
John
Actor.
Travolta was nominated, but I wouldn't call that the best performance in that film. It
No
was- it was
more
film.
Oscars. Sorry.
No, let's be fair here. Let's put the league's opinion on the table. The Oscars don't matter.
Yeah,
when
they
it comes
really
down to-
don't.
I mean, we watch them.
Well,
and we
no,
have
it's
fun
not-
watching them because it's fun to watch this industry little like self-patting.
It's not
party.
that they don't matter, but they're not a reliable gauge.
They don't
No,
mean shit.
fuck them in the GOTAS.
Titanic won everything. Dark Knight wasn't even nominated. Fuck him.
But every once in a while they get it right, like with Forrest Whitaker. He should have won.
The year
Well,
the
yeah.
Silence of the Lambs almost swept.
Yeah.
Where it won every
Every once
major
in a-
award, and no one expected that
right.
at all.
Forrest
Every
Whitaker
once
won
in a-
for what? What did he win?
For
He won for Awesome.
Dude, I still
Last King of
cannot.
Scotland.
Last King of Scotland. Oh,
I still cannot
Yeah.
watch.
He totally deserved that.
which by the way,
No, he did.
I still cannot watch Goodfellas without thinking, "Oh, Dances with Wolves."
I know that we were saying
Yeah,
that.
that's
By
true.
the way, speaking of Forrest Whitaker, I'm sorry, this is totally different, but man, I keep watching Street Kings. I love him in that
Man,
movie.
okay, Street Kings.
sorry.
Street Kings is another one
I
of those
love
Fast
him
and
in that
Furious
movie.
movies
I'm like,
where you go like,
holy
look,
shit, this
if somebody
movie's
came to me
great.
and said this is a bad movie, I'd be like, look, I'm not gonna have an argument with you
Kings
about it,
is
but I
good.
fucking love this movie. And it's such a guy's movie.
In that movie.
Hey, speaking of which, I just saw that. What's that Vin Diesel one? Death Race 3000.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's not in
that's
that.
such stupid fun.
Vin Diesel's
Man,
not in
that
that.
movie's retarded.
Yeah,
Man, I love it.
Vin Diesel's not in that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
All
Vin
right.
Diesel's
And,
not in there.
Jason Statham, they're interchangeable.
personally, I
Have
think
we
that was
moved-
crap,
Have we
but
moved to a
Yeah,
new-
same here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really,
Randomizer.
as I think was clear from our Leon and I review of the new Fast and Furious, which I assume will be out by the time this comes out.
Right. But
Hopefully.
we loved it.
But we loved it, and we can love a movie that's just a great B movie.
Hey,
And
it is what it is. It tries to be something, and it totally nails what it's trying to be.
And Death Race did nothing for me.
No.
And I like Jason Statham a lot, and I went, yeah, I've seen every single thing in this movie a billion times before done better. But back
All right,
to
well,
the randomizer.
So yeah, randomizer.
Just agree to disagree on that one.
Jedi Zombie asks
I love Jedi Zombie.
the most pressing question of the year for
Okay.
Leog.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Red. No, blue.
I would like just to say this. Don't you feel stupid for not asking a real question now, Jedi Zombie?
Randomizer.
Because you got
No. Go around real quick.
No, he's right. Randomizer.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Badman 3000 asks, what is a good TV show you like but nobody talks about?
Didn't we answer this already?
No, we asked about canceled show.
Yeah, but
Randomizer.
randomizer.
Lie to me.
Close.
All right, we're going to randomize.
Ooh, I got one.
Only because we're coming towards the end.
I watch American Idol.
Okay,
Yes.
Grant, get the fuck out of here.
Bye, guys.
Turn in your card.
I was going to say, Grant, that you don't want to advertise that fact.
I have a lot of. Wait till we get to the guilty
Hey,
pleasures.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I think goats are kind of sexy.
Spider John asks, we all know that final episodes of TV shows are emotional and important because they wrap up the story and they usually mean we'll never see these characters again. There have been good spin-offs after the end of successful shows, but my question is, what are some of the best and some of the worst series finales that the league has ever
Best
seen?
season
Absolutely
finale
bet
is
is 6 feet under.
Yes.
There we
That-
go.
dude, hands
Today,
down.
in my car, I have my MP3 thing there with like thousands of tracks on it, and what came up was that final song that played during that ending montage of the deaths of every single character on the show
Yeah.
6 Feet Under.
That is-
And I just start crying immediately. I can't stop. I can't not.
My only problem with
incredible.
my only problem with that sequence is I really wish they had played the funeral by the horses.
I think that song they played was perfect.
It was.
It was
encapsulated
very good.
everything.
Yeah, no,
man.
it was very very
The
good.
funeral by, you mean the funeral by the horses?
The horses.
Yeah, are you talking about God,
Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies?
no, he's talking about the recent indie rock thing that was big. It was like the first album by the band, and it was a huge
Yeah.
fucking thing, and that was their
They're
one.
huge.
And I'm blanking on what the hell. the name
Oh,
is.
okay.
Nothing else needs to be said.
I'm
I
totally
mean,
Right,
that
right.
one had the best
That is the
season
best. I
finale
mean,
ever.
if we rule that out, I would say the second
But yeah,
best season
that-
finale
that-
to me
that is the best thing.
was from my second favorite TV show, which was The Shield, which had an awesome,
Yeah.
it had an awesome series ending. I'm not gonna say what it was.
I'll hate you forever if you say
No.
anything.
I'm not gonna give any details of what the ending was. All I can say is that it's that ending. Like if you saw The Sopranos ending, and you one of those people who defended it, going like, "Well, that's what he was trying to do." When you see the ending of The Shield, you go like, "Oh yeah, Sopranos. That ending was bullshit."
Sopranos was appropriate for Sopranos.
Yeah,
No, it was not.
I had no problems with The Sopranos.
I think it fit what The Sopranos was attempting to do, which everyone else wanted a violent ending for.
It only fit the fact that the last 2 or 3 seasons of The Sopranos kept doing the whole thing like, hey, you expected something big to happen, and we didn't do that, huh? We tricked you again. I'm like, okay, you did, but that's enough tricking me.
I just want to throw out there at the very last episode of Angel, the whole line of, I don't know about you guys, but I want to fight the dragon. Gave me the chills for like a month and a half.
I came close. I came close to that, and I came close to the Buffy finale. But I gotta say, when I was really thinking about it, as far as like stuff that really left me satisfied, and I'm not gonna get a lot of love on this, but Barney Miller, the Barney Miller. The Barney Miller finale is for the whole series. It's been the 13th precinct, and that's where Barney Miller is captain, and all the people involved work. And at the final season, they're like, hey, they're closing down the precinct. We're smashing everything together, so you guys aren't needed anymore.
And then assault on Precinct 13.
And the very last scene is it's like everybody's gone, everybody's hugged and said their like typical goodbyes, and then it's just Hal Linden playing Barney Miller, looking over the entire office, and he just turns off the light, and it's fucking awesome, dude.
One of the most...
It's really great. It's poignant and to the point.
My most crushing ending to any series, honestly, is the last... And I know this is going to sound dorky, but seriously, the last episode of Quantum Leap. Where
Really?
It ended with a caption, and it said... And I'm going to paraphrase. It said, blah, 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 blah. Dr. Samuel Beckett never made it home.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
No, it ends on an unhappy ending. Like,
Dude, spoiler.
Well, I mean,
No, that's Quantum Leap.
Jerk! What an
No, but he
ass.
sacrificed everything by
Yeah.
choice in the show. I can't remember what the reasoning was,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
he made a conscious decision to like never go home and be lost in time forever, so that the right thing happened.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? That was a ballsy.
And it was
That
told.
is.
It was told in a postscript caption like that, and that was like the last note. It said something along the lines of Dr. Samuel Beckett never made it
That's
home.
such a
Wow,
that's
that's awesome.
I'm going to give you a little shit here and say that was a total Carlisle answer, but still. Because every time that question has come up about end of TV shows, he always brings up.
Does he really?
I love the last episode of Firefly where they said, "Hey, fuck you, fans."
Now, which brings us to
I'm
the
gonna make
second
a promise.
half of this question, which is what is the worst?
Oh wait, I haven't said my answer.
Yeah, but that's because no one cares, co-host. No, I'm sorry. That's terrible and evil. I care, and
All right,
I
I
love you.
understand, Ruby.
I care. I do. I was only trying to be funny and failing. Seriously.
Can I say, okay, let me just say, it's not a live action series, but only the greatest animated series of all time, Justice League Unlimited, with fucking Darkseid, the battle with Darkseid and Superman, which Superman just says, fuck it. I've been living in a world of cardboard, you son of a bitch, and you finally pushed my buttons. How dare you even attempt to use your Omega Beams on Batman, who can easily dodge that shit in the animated universe, and apparently not in the 2D universe of the comic book. But not only that, but the real hero of that series was Lex Luthor, where don't kill me, don't punch
Grant
me, Bo.
Bo is now leaning over co-host and hugging him to his chest.
Like a long lost lover.
It's a beautiful moment. going
There's a
on
certain
here.
amount of drool or some
That
sort of
I
liquid.
love the robot.
Yes.
Say that freely.
Yes, that was the greatest climax of probably by far the greatest superhero series of all
So,
time.
okay, what'd you think of that episode where they killed Jack Kirby? Did you cry? What?
Fuck yeah, I cried.
Because I did.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, I did.
did. Terrible Dan Turpin. You fucking
I
bastard.
cried, yes, at the end of Superman, where he basically said, "I'm no hero. You're the true hero."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh
one
my
where
God.
they beat Darkseid, he's
Yes.
like, fine, you
Yeah.
feel like you won this day.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to take one more thing. And he kills
Out of
Jack
the
Kirby.
fucking blue.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Okay,
man.
let's
Yeah.
Superman
go to
beats
worst.
the living shit out
Okay.
of whatever's left.
One of the worst ones was the ending to Seinfeld, I think.
Yes, thank you. That would have been
And
my
That was worse.
answer.
That was
They-
worse than
they
the
just
the
kind of
Sopranos.
lost. They lost
Stupid.
sight of what the whole entire show was and decided to kind of wrap it up in some quirky judicial. They all
Well,
go to jail.
No, I mean, what
Yeah,
happened
it
was
was good
is
stuff.
like the creators felt like they had some sort of moral impetus to say, you know what, we know y'all enjoyed and loved these characters, but these guys are not nice people. So we feel like, because I remember watching an interview with them after the fact, we were like, well, we thought the right thing to do was to show they deserved to suffer for being jerks. And it's like, have y'all even watched other television shows before? Almost every sitcom ever made, the characters are bad people, you know? I mean,
Those four
what-
people were our heroes, and we followed them for like 9-10 years until they all of a sudden decided to say they were enemies.
However, that did lead to a great sketch on Saturday Night Live when Jerry Seinfeld hosted, and he was thrown
Oz.
into Oz for turning in such a bad
One of the best ever.
finale episodes.
Maybe that was the real finale.
He wanted me to toss the salad, and you know,
That was-
I don't know,
that
I
was
didn't
pretty
feel
funny.
like doing it.
No, that was almost worth it.
Yeah,
for that.
it made it worth it to me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got raped, and then I got AIDS from this guy. I don't know, probably gonna die in 6 months. Well, good luck with all that.
That should be included on the last disc of Science.
You know, you're right. It should be.
I honestly, even as to go back to moonlighting again,
Oh no.
which I know hardly anybody's seen, but the first the first 3 seasons of that show are fucking great, important, changed the history of television. Bruce Willis gave him a career, and then the 4th season and the 5th season are among the worst.
They're so bad, I forgot about those 2 seasons.
Yes, where it just totally dissolves into like, what the fuck happened? I never even as a gigantic fan of that show, I gave up before it was over. I was like, no, who cares? So I'm just going to go and assume that was one of the worst endings. When they went, you know what? That stuff we were doing with comedy and breaking the fourth wall with television was, it was cute. But you know what the show really needs is just to be a never-ending, depressing drama about Bruce Willis stalking Sybil Shepherd while she dates, Mark Harmon?
Yeah, Mark Harmon. Yeah, but I love the episode. I love the episode where he hung out with Mark Harmon. He got super drunk and called him a rat bastard. At that point, Mark Harmon was like, "All right, I just want to be nice to this guy. If he called me a rat bastard, fuck him." My answer is Sopranos. I'm sorry. I absolutely hated that ending. I think it was a total cop out, and the fact that he would try to defend it and make it something artsy just makes it that much more bullshit. It makes me even angrier about it because there's so many ways to have ended that. It's like everybody's like, "Oh, you just wanted a Hollywood ending." Like, no, I didn't have to have that. I just wanted something more concrete. I
just wanted an ending.
Yeah, I invested like everybody else invested 7 years in this, and I think we all deserve something more concrete than what they gave us, and something nebulous like, "Hey, you make up your own ending." It's like, no, motherfucker, I pay $12 a month for HBO. You give me a fucking ending.
I couldn't agree more.
Easy, Leon.
I couldn't agree more.
I like the ending, Leon. I gotta say.
But you like the ending of No Country for Old Men.
Oh!
You guys can clap, but yeah, absolutely I do. I love
Yes,
those kinds of endings.
Grant got some
as
balls
all
growing
intelligent
up.
people do.
Oh, see,
Hey,
now you're
hey,
bringing it
hey,
to a
but Leon
table
likes
that's not
Punisher
right.
Warzone.
So.
I think they make me reflect on and think on something deeper about the entire show as a series, rather than just some wham bam big mob hit or something
but
else
see,
that you
see,
might
that's not
expect.
what we're asking
what I was
for.
saying is, okay, between like the non-ending they gave us and the big mob hit, there's so many other things that could have been done in between
what
that.
would you
You're
prefer?
assuming
What
that
is
all
it?
he wants is that.
I didn't-
I don't know what he
You're
wants.
giving the same argument that I hear from people going, "Oh, well, No Country for Old Men. All you wanted was to see something."
no,
different."
no,
That's
no,
not what I'm
that's-
saying.
that's
I'm
what
not
I'm saying.
asking for a
Fair,
big
I think-
violent ending.
I think No
I'm just
Cou-
saying, give me an ending.
No Country for Old Men. People miss the point.
What?
The
What? You
point
didn't
was-
like forgot the ending with Tommy Lee Jones?
They forgot who
No,
the real
I
protagonist of the story
really,
was, and it
really
was Tommy Lee Jones.
All right, because that was the
You
end.
know why we forgot who the real protagonist of the story was? Because
they focused on everyone else.
Because for nearly 45 minutes he had dropped out of the story. By the time he
nevertheless,
comes back
him.
in, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Tommy Lee Jones was in this movie. And that's not my fault. That's the fault of the filmmakers.
That's fine, but the movie finally delivered what never happens in other movies. They kept to the same person.
A couple of co
No. There is a point
you
where
have that same movie that you want in every other movie.
We're enveloping out.
there is a point when Josh Brolin becomes the protagonist of the movie,
Let's talk about
and you do
Blade
not
Runner for old
have an important death like his happen off screen, and just go like, oh yeah, that guy died.
Oh yes, you do, because you're now still talking about it.
If it meant something.
Fight.
Yeah, I'm talking about how much it sucked.
Oh, you're going to take that from him?
If it meant something, if I got something out of it in the movie, like, oh yeah, that had an important impact.
You know what?
But it didn't.
With the Sopranos episode, which I didn't, or the ending I didn't like either, but it took away from that episode, which I really liked. The whole episode, I love with the car running over the guy's head and the reaction of the people.
The episode right before and the train scene with Bobby was brilliant.
Yeah, but that ending takes away from, I thought, a relatively great last season and that episode was great. I love that episode, except for the last fucking I thought my fucking cable went out. I was so pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck happened to my and I know a lot of people that happened to. It's like, what the fuck happened to my HBO?
Look,
That was
I
terrible.
want to throw this out here right now, and I know there are some hurt feelings here about that No Country for Old Men thing that I understand, because people are very harsh one way or the other about that, as we are. And Leon and I have explained our opinion about this at length, about how we feel about this. And yet I've never heard a well-done argument about why it is a good ending without turning to the whole, oh, you were just expecting this, which is a bullshit answer. Because that's not, that we've never said
Honestly,
anything like that
if it
at
had
all.
ended at the car crash, I would have been okay with
Well,
it.
no, here's what I'm going to say. I got sent the Blu-ray double disc edition of this. And if somebody wants to volunteer in this group right now to review this, I'll post this on the site. And you get to keep this really super fucking badass Blu-ray edition of this. But I want to hear a goddamn good, great fucking argument for why this ending is valid.
I'd be willing to
Grant
watch
still
it
has
review.
the H.
Bo, are you
Let
making
Bo
that?
take it. I think
Yeah,
Bo can
I
also do
mean-
the argument, but
to an extent, I think it's because the crux of the crux of the novel and it doesn't translate as well into the movie, but I do think it's there, is that that Tommy Lee Jones represents a life led by code, and what the violence between
it's a society that's passing by.
the two characters, it is about a society that has passed him by, and these two characters of
Llewellyn,
Anton Segura.
Josh Brolin, and Segura, represent this society without rules.
Okay,
And-
I'm not
and
asking
it
actually
is-
asking for your answer here. I'm saying
as far as the challenge, I'll take it.
Okay.
I would like to
You
look.
sound more fucked up than I am.
No, it's just it's just that the point is that
brother. Yes, because we weren't talking about the movie, co-host.
Can I tell you about Alan Moore's Green Lantern one more time?
We have devolved into chaos.
No, that's a solid time.
Randomizer.
Yeah, Cyrus, get us out of here.
Oh, no. I didn't get to do mine. No, I didn't get to do
No,
mine.
there is no mine.
I think
There
it-
is no mine. He made fun of me. Fuck him. Fuck him.
next question.
No more new questions.
I wanted to say that
You listen to that music that Greg is playing. You fucking.
Let the boy try.
I wanted to say
Robot, you shut up!
Let the boy try.
Let
You
me
do
just say,
realize by criticizing co-host, you've just doomed yourself.
Yeah, and
for
by
my
the way,
legion
for all
to unleash
those,
on you.
for all those out there who are going easy on me,
Let the boy
I hate the
try.
fucking robot. Fuck you.
Oh, come on. Lex Luthor versus Darkseid. Another hug. Okay.
I was reading Larry McMurtry, and then you fucking rubbed Kevin Spacey's bald head in my ass. What the fuck?
It's no country for Kryptonians.
No,
It is.
Oh, nice.
Dude.
Vision. Nice. I was going to say the death of the Incredible Hulk, where you see the Incredible Hulk fall out of the chopper, and it's so
The
bad.
chopper.
The chopper.
He falls out of the chopper. No, Bruce.
And it's
You
so
come
bad.
back.
Yeah, it's so bad. The Incredible Hulk is supposed to look
Was
like.
that the one with Daredevil or Thor?
I think
No,
wait,
that
no,
he's,
that's
he's talking about the Ultimates. dude.
Yeah, that's no. I'm
thought
talking
you
about
were
the
talking about
TV show.
The TV show with Bill Bixby, right?
Where the TV show with the death of the Incredible Hulk, where you see him like drop off from a chopper, and you see him like
Jason, we're taking him out
he's
back and beating the
he's
shit.
supposed to like
By
flail
the way.
Yeah.
into complete darkness,
Right.
But unfortunately, you can see the platform that Lou Ferrigno is laying on, to where you see the black mat, and you see him like flailing his arms, and he's not going anywhere. I'm like, that's the Incredible Hulk, like laying down on a flat carpet.
That is
this-
Lou Ferrigno
Yeah.
waving goodbye to his career.
These are
Guys, that's sad.
This is like these aren't.
Hey, boy, I can't
Yeah.
talk out well, but goodbye.
No.
At that moment,
What's wrong with you, bastard?
At that moment, I stopped believing in movie magic. I was like,
Having met Lou Ferrigno in person a couple of years ago, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
No, he really
so
is. Like, he
on that
charges you
note,
for everything.
Sorry about that, Bo.
on
Go
that
ahead.
note, and despite the success of I Love You, Man, look at there, Fredo. You can't talk good.
All right, let's hear that sound I love so much. And guys, this is going to be our last question. Last randomized question.
Question from
Well, actually, it gave me another duplicate. So. All right.
It is now the witching hour.
The last question is from Green Lantern.
oh, the
And just Green Lantern.
Protectives of
There's-
Sector
No,
2814.
different Green Lanterns.
Yeah,
more than one.
there
This
are
is
a
the-
couple of Green Lanterns.
This is the one that's just
Green Lantern,
that
we
managed
did
to
the entire
score the
episode
just
doing
Green
next.
Lantern.
Okay.
Okay, it says, I know some members are fans of the Venture Brothers and the Boondocks and the like. Are there any older animated series that were targeted for adults that you've had a particular fondness for, and why?
Stroker and Hoop. One of my favorite animated series on Adult Swim. That I was like about two broke down detectives with a car that could talk. And funny, because Carr, Carr, who had a voice kind of like Master Shake on. It wasn't the same voice, but it's similar. He's my least favorite character. But the two detectives, especially John Glazer, really funny. Especially the episode where they go up against Ron Howard. They replay these on Adult Swim during the week, so you can catch them then. But I absolutely love that show.
There was what was the name of the show with the rat who played the rat?
Ghostbusters.
No.
The real Ghostbusters.
It was
DC
man.
Cab.
No, the guy who played Frasier.
Cab.
What the hell's his name?
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, didn't he have this show with
Laugh Olympics.
Rat Fink.
Yeah, no, he did have a series where
he was like a rat
he played
lawyer.
a rat who was actually a lawyer, and
Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
I think it went 6 episodes.
Yeah, I saw the one episode and it made me laugh, and I thought it was funny. I always wondering what the hell happened to that.
Is that the trial of O.J.
Cubert
Simpson?
the Amazing Cubes.
No, but I don't know. I'm a big Boondocks fan, even though he goes a little bit far sometimes. But I still like. When he's got a
Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and Jekyll. Oh, Fritz the Cat. How about that?
Well, I wanted to throw out there the one time only, the Amazing Screw On Head, which is really cool, done by Mike Magnolia.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was.
That was a
funny.
cartoon series?
Yeah, it was just
No,
one
they just
one
did one
single
episode.
thing, and it's really fun.
Yeah, it's Paul Giamatti doing the voice
Oh, wow.
of the Screw-On Head. Oh, they assembled like this amazing voice cast.
Dude, it's like it
Yeah.
feels like the type of thing that like you watch it and you're like, hey, these guys should be animating League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
When you watch it, you're like, oh wow, this is great.
No, that's awesome, man. I didn't know you watched it.
No, I loved it. I thought it was
Fun.
absolutely
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
awesome.
But other than that, I'd like to say Duckman.
Oh, I
was
love
a
Duckman.
Big fan of
Yeah,
Duckman.
yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, great show. That I think like 2.5 seasons, maybe.
Maybe even 3. It was fairly popular the
think
first
it-
year it was
I think
on.
it went,
3
uh,
series.
two
Yeah,
and
yeah,
a half
3
to
seasons.
Okay, which was the
Jason Alexander.
Alexander voicing it. I
But
loved
it was
that.
so crude, but so funny and so quick.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was good.
Jason, I know
Jason?
you got something.
Oh, mine was actually kind of an all ages one, but and I've said this before on various LEOGs, but The Tick.
Oh,
yeah.
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 So
I
I mean,
mean-
the precursor to the Venture Brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. It was mostly all ages. I mean, it was Saturday morning, but then again, you would have the Tick wrestling a giant snake, and then the snake would stop and look at him and go, "You don't date much, do you?" It was very a little Freudian thing.
I love when he adopted a capybara that he thought was a dog that he named Speak.
Speak, because that's what you do. Spoon. Oh God, I love that show.
I love you.
Yeah, and then when he built his own sidekick because Arthur was busy with his girlfriend, he like nailed together a little wooden marionette type character, Little Wooden Boy.
Freakazoid was a good one. Bo was
Freakazoid,
Bo was off
Freakazoid.
mic
Dun, dun,
suggesting
I was
Freakazoid.
off mic because I could not remember the name because it is very, very easily confused. I wonder why with Mark Allred's
Mike.
Madman.
Mike Allred.
Mike Allred's Madman. But Freakazoid, which is one of the kind of like original prototypical Warner Brothers cartoons in the early 90s. Awesome.
Yes.
Completely wonderful, worked on so many levels, and it's one of those things that like you can show your kids, you can watch yourself, and still laugh your ass off. And it was very much based on Mike Allred's Madman, who it was, you know, a schizophrenic superhero.
It's weird because
is pretty much
because
like
the
that.
look of it and the premise was so very much Madman.
Yeah.
Madman. You want to say Madman, but then once you read Madman,
Yeah.
it was nothing like Freakazoid.
No,
No.
that's true. That's true.
No,
Yeah.
they totally like took the the extraneous bits and pastiches on that, which means that they should have made a really, really horrible cartoon, and they didn't. They made
Right.
like this really incredible, incisive,
In many ways, it was a
clever
less
cartoon.
cutesy spin-off of Animaniacs.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It was basically like Animaniacs, but with a superhero character.
I mean, if you
and they didn't split the episodes off into like, you know, cute doggies and pigeons and this and that and the other thing. It was all about this guy who quote unquote fell into the internet and, you know, became the superhero.
Which
Like
you can
Cyrus,
see-
only without the superhero.
Well, if you go by the evolutionary timeline, Bruce Timm, who worked on Animaniacs, Freakazoid is the missing link between Animaniacs and Batman the Animated
Yeah,
Series.
no, that's absolute. Yeah, nail it. Absolutely.
Yeah, he totally nails
I
it.
did a review of this if you look in the League Lounge and the television thing, there's a pretty detailed review I did from like over a year ago. of
It's
the
really
first
where
season.
Bruce Timm figured out, like, all right, I already know I like superheroes, but here's how to do superhero pacing. Here's how to kind of do superhero, highlights as far as the city they live in and the people they live with.
Can I tell a Brush with Greatness story?
Yeah,
Oh, y'all sick of it, man. I don't want to turn into Carlisle.
I was
but
gonna say.
but maybe it's too late.
Wait, I broke my ankle from the names are gonna drop.
I was gonna say, like, I did talk to Bruce Timm on the phone, like, prior to him,
You
like,
son of a bitch,
like,
really?
yeah, back when I was coloring comics.
You tell me that.
I was coloring John Sable freelance, and he had been on the book before I was, and I was having some problems with what they were sending me, and they were like, "Why don't you call him? Here's his number." And I called him and say, like, "Hey, man, I'm having some trouble with this stuff." He gave me some great advice. On some things. I mean, I had no idea he would take Batman and revolutionize him at the time.
This
but
is way before Batman.
yeah, it's way before.
Wow.
But I was just like recognized, like, wow, you and I are doing the same kind of work. What's your secret on this? And
here you are on
I
Leon.
know. Trust me, that does not escape me.
Wow. Hey,
You still got that Aquaman idea, man. You still got the Aquaman idea. This is waiting to go.
Hey man, this might be your big break.
Right?
Don't
fucking patronize me, Greg.
All I can say is at least I'm number 4 on the best friend list, so I'm happy to be there. I'm along for the ride, sort of.
Grant, did you already do yours?
No, neither one of you guys. The co-host corner.
Go ahead, co-host Junior.
The question was comic
Cartoon series
Never
for
mind.
adults. Never mind. You weren't even paying attention.
Shit.
Oh, DuckTales. You guys,
Yeah,
I
seriously,
know
DuckTales.
Grant, and he's going to throw up in
I
about
think
10
that
minutes.
Fenn
Sailor,
Crackshell.
I think Sailor Moon is.
could have really become.
The only thing I didn't like about
Arch
Sailor
enemy
Moon
as
is that their
Megadeth.
skirts weren't short enough.
There's this cartoon on Cartoon Network that I think ended too soon called Venture Brothers. I don't know if anyone's heard of it.
No. It was besides the Venture Brothers. What else?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Somebody give him
Check,
a bucket.
please. I'll say. Can I say the Max?
Yes, you
Oh,
can say
yeah.
that.
TV, the Max.
Yeah.
Even though some of that still goes over my head, I loved every.
Somewhere in Austin, down south, there is an actual mural on a wall of Aboriginal Max.
Are
Really?
you serious?
Yeah.
Where? Do
It's,
you have
it's
any-
I'll find out.
Okay, you let me know.
Yeah.
It's funny
I
because
love that
when the
shit.
Max
the
comic
gay
book series
side
came
of,
out,
South
I would read some of it. I'm like, I don't really get this. But then I saw the cartoon
Yeah.
series on MTV, and I was like, whoa, I totally get this. This is awesome.
I would watch each episode at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Because I love the look, I love the style, and as far as just a comic book, I was like, wow, it really nailed it.
I
As
think a
far
lot
as
of
what I got
times
from that
cartoons will nail it better than a cartoon
Yeah.
series would. Because, Tony Millionaire and that whole Drinky Crow thing, never liked the comic strip. But the cartoon that was running on Adult Swim,
Yeah.
I was so into it.
Really?
I don't even
Yeah,
know
I
what
really
the
liked it a
hell you're
lot.
talking about.
I actually do like the comic strip, but I'd be very curious. I was
You should
on-
watch it.
Well, I was on the Adult Swim.
Dead air.
Check, please.
Will somebody please get
What the
throw me
fuck
out?
just happened?
I
tuned out for a second
He
there.
Bo suddenly stopped speaking.
For anyone who's wanting to know what just happened, Bo just passed out. He just passed out. That's all.
It was like a wormhole.
His eyes closed.
I was
It
looking
it was
for a
over.
website and nobody gave me a fucking phone.
Okay, none of us were paying attention.
God, it was like suddenly the league was swallowed by a black hole.
Yeah. www.getyoutofsleep.com.
You fucking pricks.
Look, I got
we left
one
it hanging.
last tiny question that I personally selected out of these, and then we're gonna go into our fade out.
I really just want to go home and go to bed,
I
Cyrus.
understand,
No,
but
you
you've
cannot.
got to answer
Let
this.
me out of here. Is this the
Yes.
Hotel California?
Welcome to my hell as far as a 5-hour show.
The Predator asks, "Do you like big butts?"
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
You brothers can't deny.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been LEOG number 6, and let me just say
Yes.
this from all of us here. Long live